What is going on, Papa Fam? And welcome to day 2 of the Amazon challenge. It's amazing to be back. It's amazing to see everyone. Let me know who is tuning in from yesterday and who is excited. Let's make some noise. The chat has been popping off. I am so excited to get started with day 2 of the Amazon 5-day Papa Fam challenge. Let's go, guys. Let's absolutely kill it. Let me know where you're watching from right now. We got Brazil in the house. Go ahead and let me know where you're watching from right now, guys. Let's kick it off and let's get the energy up for today's build. Guys, welcome to day 2. Look at that chat. There we go, guys. All around the world. We've got Berlin. We've got Nepal. We've got Romania. We have Egypt. We have Germany, India, Kenya, Canada, United States, UK, Birmingham, Bulgaria. There we go, guys. This is incredible stuff. Let's go ahead and get started with today's build, guys. We are about to begin right now. We have just over 150 people watching across platforms. Go ahead and get excited. Let's go ahead and run through what we're going to be doing today, and we're going to be going through yesterday's homework as well. So we had a huge number of submissions yesterday, and I cannot wait to absolutely crush it again today. Let's do this, guys. Welcome to day 2 of the Amazon challenge. Oh, I've actually skipped the music. There we go. Now, guys, if you haven't already, remember, you have to reserve your spot in day 5 of the challenge, right? So remember, this is a challenge, right? Which means that there are prizes up for grabs. In fact, £10,000 worth of prizes, in fact, okay? So make sure you hit the first link in the description and you sign up for the 5th day final event. Okay, so we're going to be going through the ultimate full stack roadmap and as to how you can take the skills that we're going to learn in this 5-day challenge and go and crush it and land a job in that one. Okay, so let's go ahead and remember, guys, join the official Papa Fam Discord server. You're going to get loads of support. You're going to be able to help each other out in that server. It's so incredible, honestly, the amount of support and love that the Papa Fam has for each other, right? That's why I do what I do. That's why my goal has been to go ahead and build this a crazy community. And guys, I just couldn't be more proud of every single person inside this community. So thank you for turning up every single time. Let's continue on, guys. So if you haven't already, you need to join the Facebook group, okay? So every single person who is a part of this challenge, we actually have over 2,000 members inside this group right now. It's incredibly easy to go ahead and join this group. All you need to go ahead and do, the link is in the description. You just need to go ahead and tap it, right? Tap it, request access. You fill out a few simple questions and you're in, okay? You need to join that group, right? It's incredibly important that you join that group. Otherwise, we can't calculate your points inside the challenge. Remember, share us on your socials. Yesterday, I saw so many of you. It was incredible. So many of you absolutely blew up on my socials, right? And it was incredible to see all your stories that you're putting up. I couldn't restory them. There's so many of them, right? But thank you. I see them. And it goes into my requests. So sometimes it may not say seen, but I see you guys, okay? And I really appreciate that. This is incredible stuff. So make sure you registered for the day 5. So comment right now saying I am registered for day 5. And then don't worry, guys, we're going to get started very soon, okay? We're going to have an exclusive surprise on that day 5. And we have a massive training to help you bag your dream job, okay? So that's the first link in the description. Literally sign up right now, okay? So I can see so many people are saying I've signed up. Wow, we have so many people getting so excited to say, go ahead and look at my portfolio from yesterday's homework. We will be jumping into that. Juliana signed up, Jyotish, Ben, Mohib, we have KJS. Oh, nice, Ben Carter, there we go. Ben's actually got an amazing bit of homework. I saw that one, dude. Natasha, Josh, developer Diane. Wow, this is incredible stuff. Radioactive says, I'm registered for day 5. It's the one with the crowdcast. Yes, that is the one, dude. It's the one that you're seeing on the screen right now. Here's the prizes you can grab, okay? First prize, diamond membership worth £3,500, okay? So it's incredible prizes up for grabs. Second place, 3 platinum bootcamp experiences, and third place, 10 winners are going to get 50% off a platinum experience. So it's incredible. It's going to be so much fun, okay? And guys, like I said, day 5, we're going to go ahead and open the doors to our exclusive Zero to Full Stack Hero course. And I have an offer that you will never see again after that webinar, okay? So it's only on that day. So if you miss it, I'm sorry, I warned you, okay? So make sure you sign up, first link in the description. Now, the point system, you guys have been killing it with the points. We are already, like, usually we have a bit of, breathing room, but you guys are actually making it difficult to keep up with the point system. You get 1 point for sending a message on any social media platform. Tagging me gets you 2 points, so that helps spread the challenge. Use the hashtag. 3 points if you help someone out with their homeworks. Now, guys, you lot are incredible. The amount of support you are giving to each other, that is what the Papa Fam is about. And I want to keep seeing that throughout the 5 days, okay? 4 points if you refer someone else to the challenge. Remember, if you refer someone and you win, they win too, okay? So huge reward in that case. 5 points every homework submission, which we had over 500 submissions, guys. Like, how did we get 500 submissions, right? Incredible. Wow, I can't believe that, right? So everyone can go ahead and submit their homework. Remember, there is no deadline. It's only, you have to get in before the end of the 5 days, right? That's how you're gonna get your points calculated, right? So remember, Facebook group, you can go ahead and submit. But guys, let's go ahead and review yesterday's homework. So everyone's excited. They wanna share their portfolio submissions. So let's go ahead and check it out. So remember, the homework was to go ahead and download the free portfolio that we gave you yesterday, customize the JSON file inside of there, and then host your portfolio on Netlify. Okay, so that's going to be the homework that was due yesterday. Okay, so you had to go ahead and submit that. And yeah, like I said, we received over 500 submissions. That's insane. 500 submissions. We had 700 people watching, which means nearly all of you submitted something. Right? This is crazy. So I am incredibly proud of you. And we killed it on day 1 of the challenge. And let's keep on pushing. We just pushed over 300 people watching right now. That's awesome. Right? Guys, let's go ahead and check out some of your Amazon digital portfolio submissions. Right? So guys, there were so many that we actually had pretty much one from major countries around the world. Okay, so if you guys see your portfolio, make some noise in the comments. It's the only time I'm going to let you, spam something, but you guys can go ahead and make some noise if you see yourself right now. Now, if your portfolio comes on the screen, you're going to get 10 points, right? And then if I've gone ahead and I show it afterwards, you're going to get another 10 points. So any portfolio that you see right now, 10 points, right? Guys, Brian Douglas from the UK. Now, he came out with something incredibly unique, okay? So this wasn't even the portfolio that I gave you. This was just an incredible portfolio, but it was clean. It was absolutely professional. So Brian, you killed it. Well done. Matthew Jose, really nice, simple, elegant portfolio, right? So he's from Houston. Absolutely smashed it. Well done, dude. We have Joseph Garganera. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Clean build. And this is what I mean, guys. You don't have to go over the top, right? If it looks great, you guys absolutely crushed it, okay? So let's go ahead and carry on. So we've got Martin Velkov. Amazing stuff, guys. We just broke 200 likes as well. Let's go, Papa Fam. And the number of viewers is growing at an incredible rate. Nearly 350 across platforms. Keep on going, guys. So we have Nelson Collins, Rami Jaba. I love this one, by the way. This was actually in Tailwind CSS, which was fully responsive. So well done, dude. I actually had a chat with you on Facebook. That was incredible. Mackenzie Lim. This was a really nice, look at the personality inside that portfolio. Clean. Natasha Paracella from Germany killed it with the background in this one. The colors are popping. I mean, I don't even know what the picture is, but it makes me intrigued, right? I want to go ahead and find out a little bit more. And guys, we also just hit 41.3 thousand subs. Wow. Oh my God. Right, this is incredible. And guys, I see your chat right now. This is amazing stuff, right? Michael Henry, Mazen, Rahul, Johannes, and here are the extra 10 points. Now I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick 10 points mention right now. But before we do that, how about I give you a quick demo of what we're going to be building today, okay? So guys, what we're going to be building today is actually the front end of the Amazon build, okay? So we are going to be building this page right here. So this is going to be completely built out with Tailwind, with Fake Store API, okay, and we're going to be using Next.js to do a server-side render with this build, okay? So get ready for this. You're going to need a bit of coffee. get ready and get focused. Okay, so I want all your phones on do not disturb, and this is a fully responsive build. So you can see pretty much here, as I go ahead and shrink this out, it completely responds. The header is changing. Everything is going to change. So it's incredible stuff. You're going to have this at the end of today, and I'm going to teach you how to go ahead and deploy it. And then that's going to be your homework for today. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and show, and guys, remember, if I didn't mention your portfolio, it doesn't mean I didn't see it. Okay. We can only show so many on the slides. Do not worry. Me and Jay are working overtime to make sure that this is happening. But firstly, we have Yap Yi Kang with his incredible portfolio. Check this one out, guys. It has animations, all sorts of wicked, quirky stuff, right? And it also has, I love this bit, right? It has a dark mode and light mode, but right now it's set to dark mode. If I open it up in Chrome, it actually toggles between dark mode and light mode, which is incredible. That's awesome, man. So amazing stuff. Well done, dude. And on second, we have Sai Pranay. Go ahead and check this out. If you're watching this right now, look at this 3D effect, guys. I absolutely love that, right? I remember when I saw it, I thought it was just a basic glass morphism design, but that's incredible. Like, I would just sit there playing around with that for a little bit. That's so clean, man. That's awesome stuff. Okay, so you absolutely smashed it, brother. Jord Wilson. I'm not sure if it's Jordan Wilson, but Biggie J, developer, React developer. I really like this one. Stood out to me, right? So you have a few builds here. You have a picture of him, smart lad, and then we have a contact me page. Okay, so this is absolutely awesome stuff. Very unique. Awesome job, man. This is a very, very nice build, okay? Abdullah Dayan. Honestly, this is a kid. And look how nice this page is. So awesome stuff. This goes to show it doesn't matter about your age. Don't ever let anyone tell you you're too young or too old. And I actually spent ages just playing around with this little effect over here. So this was clean. Honestly, really, really clean stuff. If you guys are seeing your builds right now, I can see Sai, Pranay, Rupesh, Natasha, everyone's making some noise in the chats. This is incredible stuff. Okay. And number 5 is Kasim Sheikh. Right, so this one was really cool actually. We had like a cyberpunk sort of theme going on. So you can click on the profile, you can click on start, and let's go ahead and try and click on skills. And then if you click on the character here, it comes up with his strengths and weaknesses. I really like that. Right, anything which shows you're a little bit different, you know, you're stepping out of your comfort zone, making something which stands out from the rest. That's clean, right? So this is amazing stuff. What I would recommend is when you do deploy it, make sure you're deploying it to a secure server, okay? Because the minute somebody sees not secure, it's kind of a red flag. So just make sure, be aware of that. Not everyone had that issue, but you guys absolutely killed it. So submissions from all around the world. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for deploying your homeworks. We have the same principle today. So after today's build, you're going to have the homework submission link, second link in the description with the instructions. You're going to have to go ahead and submit that, because remember, the goal of this challenge is to learn. Okay, so remember, guys, the community, it's all about helping each other out. You guys have been incredible. I saw the amazing support and just positivity that you guys were commenting. And this is what I want to see. Okay, this is what I want to see going on throughout the rest of the challenge. This is the kind of energy that we need to go ahead and all learn together. Okay, so let's go ahead, and it's time to focus, right? Absolutely. We've had enough, reviewing, talking about yesterday, but what are we going to be doing today, right? We are going to be absolutely zoned in, and we're building the front end. So like I said, Next.js, Tailwind, Fake Store API, right? Fake Store API is a very cool API, but we can go ahead and actually pull in some fake store data. So imagine it was like we're pretending to pull in from an actual store, but it's a real API, and we're going to be pulling from it. And I'm going to show you how to do it with server-side rendering, and it's just going to look clean. Okay. So this would be awesome stuff. Code with Yug, Carl, Nessa. Don't worry, guys. If you weren't featured, we still saw yours. Okay. We still saw it, right? Amazing stuff, guys. Now, lots of you said you had difficulties in the previous challenge. You said you couldn't get started. There were errors. So I made your life super simple. And all you have to do is actually go ahead and use the starter template. Okay, so the starter template, guys, is actually an incredible, easy solution for you. It's the third link in the description. So all you have to do is go ahead and hit the third link in the description. You'll reach this GitHub page. Okay, so it's a public GitHub, and it is my GitHub. Feel free to star it if you'd like. But basically, we have this nice little starter pack. Now, this already has Tailwind CSS, Redux, all the good stuff going ahead and being used and set up inside of this. So to go ahead and get started, all you need to do, click code, copy this HTTPS link. Okay, so click the copy button and you want to go ahead and open up a terminal. Okay, so this is how we go ahead, and guys, we're starting right now. Okay, so get ready. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how you can use the starter pack that I've gone ahead and created for you to get up and running with this Amazon build as soon as possible, right? Without any headaches or anything like that. So to get started, we're just going to go ahead and type in git clone, and then we're going to paste that link. Okay, and then you should be able to see cloning into Amazon starter pack, right? So now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and say cd Amazon, Amazon, and then starter pack, and then we're going to go into it, right? So now that we're inside the directory, what we want to do, I'm going to make that a little bit bigger for you guys so you can all see that. We're going to hit code plus, code dot, okay? And this is going to open up my VS Code in the directory. Now I have it open already, so I'm going to go ahead and resume from here, right? So that's going to be your steps to going ahead and getting started with the starter pack. Now we'll show you what you need to do once that is gone ahead and opened up. Okay, so once you've done that, we're going to go ahead and get started with this build. Okay, so if you guys haven't already, go ahead and support the stream by smashing the thumbs up button and letting everyone know that you are excited right now. We have 450 people watching across platforms. This is awesome. And guys, remember, as we go on through the days, we're going to see more and more people dip off, right? So I'm looking for the people who are willing to stick it out to the end, right? So do not quit. Do not, just give up if something doesn't work. Join the communities, make it work, right? This is about supporting each other. This is about making everything. It's about learning together and making it work, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started with the build today, guys. So heading over to our code. Once this is open, what you need to do is go ahead, and I'm using yarn. So there are instructions inside, but all you need to go ahead and do is type in yarn and hit enter. Okay. This will go ahead, and all you to bring up the terminal, you just go ahead and do Command J. Okay. You can do yarn or you can do npm install. Now I've already done this step, so I'm not going to do that, but all you need to do is hit yarn, and this will go ahead and install the required dependencies to get started. Okay, so that's all you need to do to go ahead and get started in today's build, guys. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this, right? So I can see everyone's comments right now, so let me know if you do need any help or if this isn't working for you, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna work. I've tested it a million times, and I think we're ready to go ahead and jump into this, right? So guys, remember, smash the thumbs up button. Can we reach 300 likes? Right now, what we're going to be using inside this build, we are going to be using Tailwind CSS. So in order to get all of this working, we had to do quite a few things, right? So I'm going to open up Screen Brush quickly. We had to do quite a few amazing little tweaks to get this all working, right? So where's my Screen Brush right now? There we go. There it is. Right. So we have our beautiful Tailwind CSS. We have hero icons, which is going to allow us to have all of these basket components and this beautiful stuff, and even the star icon right here. And then we're going to be using Tailwind to make it fully responsive. Okay, so all of this responsiveness that you're going to be seeing as the page shrinks, that's all going to be achieved using Tailwind CSS. And guys, just look how clean that is, right? So it's honestly extremely, extremely simple to go ahead and do this, right? So Shreyan says it's working. Incredible stuff. Nice. Okay, let's go ahead and build this app, guys. Let's do this, right? Everyone get focused. And let's go ahead and start. So first thing we're going to do to get this up and running, you're going to go ahead and do yarn run dev. Okay. Now this will go ahead and spin up your app on your local server 3000. Okay. And what you should see at this point, let's wait for it. What you should see at this point is a Tailwind configuration message. But in this case, if you don't see it, you need to go into your Tailwind config and save the file. Okay. So if you do not see the Tailwind, if you do not see this message, you go into your Tailwind config and hit save, okay? And then you should see you have enabled the JIT engine, which is currently in preview. That's all you have to do to get it up and running, okay? So once we've got that up and running, I'm gonna go ahead and open up our localhost 3000, okay? And this is what you should see, right? So this is basically what we wanna get to. And then I'm gonna go ahead and actually pop this open into our screen over here, so that way it makes it a little bit easier for you guys to follow along, because I know you guys like to go ahead and do this screen side by side. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is going to be your starter template. like I said, Next.js, Tailwind, Redux, Firebase, Next, Auth, all set up and ready to go. And remember guys, if you haven't registered for the challenge, click there to simply register. Okay, really, really clean stuff. I hope that helps you guys out. Okay, so first step, let's go ahead and review our code. Okay, so let's have a look at what we've got in the starter template. Inside the source folder is where the magic happens. Okay, so we click on source, and here you can see we've got a bunch of different folders. So inside of app, we basically have things. This is all to set up Redux. Okay, so we will be explaining this in day 2, right? But this is how we've set up Redux, and slices in Redux. This actually represents a basket, right? So I'm going to be going ahead and explaining all of this in day 2 for the Redux portion of the build. Okay, day 3, sorry. And then in styles, we have our Tailwind being imported as it requires to get started. Okay, we've got a Tailwind configuration outside. We don't need that anymore. But the main difference is that if you set this up from the template from absolutely scratch, right? The only difference that we have is that inside of the purge folder, everything is referencing the files inside of source. Okay, so if you were doing it by yourself, just make sure you apply that change. Right now, I have added in the Amazon colors inside of our theme. So we do have the Amazon blue, we have a light variant and a default variant. Okay, guys, we just hit 300 likes. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get this energy up and let's kill it. Okay, guys, let's do this. We're going to go ahead and open up pages. And in Next.js, the way the pages work, guys, is we have a file-based routing, which means that index.js represents our homepage. Okay, so index.js simply represents a /. Now, if I was to write search, okay, if I do this, it will say 404. Okay, but inside of Next.js, if I want a page which resembles search, all I need to go ahead and do is add a page here called search.js. And that is how we will go ahead and get started, right? If we want to go ahead and have page routing. So it's just something important to get to remind yourself with. Okay, so we're going to go back to our homepage right now, and we're going to go ahead and get started with this build. So in today's portion, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to go ahead and resize accordingly. Oops. And there we go. That makes it a little bit easier for you guys. So to start off, I want you to go ahead and grab everything inside of the center, right? So you see everything inside the comments. You're going to go ahead and delete that. Okay, so it's extremely easy to go ahead and get started with this build, right? Then we're going to go ahead and type in a H1. And oh, my Emmet isn't working. Okay, so I've actually gone ahead and set up a new computer, so that's fine. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and type in hello. Oh, let's just say, hey, Papa Fam. All right, let's do this. And then we should see on the right hand side, hey, Papa Fam. Okay, so this is where you want to be when you get started off, right? So what we're going to do is we're first going to build out the header portion. So this is actually the portion that we see up here. And I'm going to try and keep the pace at a moderate pace today, okay? Because I know that some of you say it goes a bit quick at times. So right now we're building out this header portion over here, okay? So there's 2 things to be noticed about this header portion. The first thing is that we actually have this bottom container as well. Okay, so we have 2 containers here. We have the bottom section and the top section, right? The top section is this one over here. And then we have the bottom section underneath it. And in the top section, we have the Amazon logo on the left. We have this custom search input field, right? So this one that you're seeing right here, this is a custom input field. Oops, not now. How do I get rid of that? Don't ask again. There we go. Right, so we have this custom search input field, and then we have the right section over here, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and build this out first. So the way we do this is we're gonna create a component that's gonna resemble this. This is gonna be our header component, okay? So we're gonna have the header component first, and then underneath this, the goal would be to introduce a banner and then a product feed, okay? So the product feed is all of this stuff. The banner is this scrollable banner. Okay, so if you didn't realize already, it's a scrollable banner, okay? So let's go ahead and firstly start off with the header. So you're gonna open up your folder structure, and then the first thing we're gonna do inside of here is I'm gonna click on source, and I'm going to click on the add folder. So this will add a folder inside of source, and I'm going to create a folder called components. Okay. So once this is open, this is going to hold all of our reusable components. So inside of here, I'm going to create new file, and I'm going to say header.js. Okay. Header.js, like so. Okay, now for some of you, for example, like me right now, this is actually, I had to restart my computer. Your Emmet may not work, right? So Emmet is the shortcuts that you typically see me use. So I'm going to show you how to actually enable that shortcut right now. So if you press Command Q, it will open up your settings, right? Type in Emmet and this will go ahead and pop up. And now you can see you've got Emmet include languages. So this is the line that I actually need. So I'm going to copy this JavaScript React, and I'm going to click add item. Okay. Now here I'm going to type in JavaScript, and I'm going to go ahead and type in JavaScript React, and I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Now once this is done, this will enable Emmet on my system. So now if I go ahead and save, and now if I type in H1, you can see now I have Emmet. Okay. So I think that might actually be very handy for quite a few of you to go ahead and get started with Emmet if you don't know how to use it already, right? So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to go ahead and open up our header component, right? So inside of header, we're going to be using our ES7 snippets extension. So here, I'm going to go ahead and you make sure you have installed this extension right here, ES7 React Redux GraphQL. Okay, so we're going to need this extension to get started. Ben Carter says, can you show that again? Sure thing, dude. You just need to go to your settings, and where you have the include languages, you can simply go ahead and add in where it says item JavaScript and value JavaScript React. Okay. And guys, while that's on the page, I'm going to have a quick water break. Make sure you have a water break. JM Ninja says that Emmet tip made my day. So guys, you know what? I sometimes forget about the small tricks and tips because I've kind of, gone ahead and set it up. But I'm going to go ahead and actually remind you of all the little tips and tricks because I think you guys really love that, right? So I'm going to make sure I don't miss out those little sneak peeks and tricks, okay? So let's go ahead and do this. Nice stuff. Really glad you guys found that handy. So once we've got this extension installed, what I'm going to do is do _RFCE. Okay, this will create a React functional component. Now inside of here, I'm going to type in an H1 and I'm going to say I am a header. Hit save. And if I go back to my index.js, I'm going to go ahead and actually pull in this header. Right. So the way I do that is I simply go ahead and I type in header. Okay. And you see here, it pulls in an autocomplete for me. Otherwise, I have to write this in manually. That actually happens by default with VS Code. I didn't do any magic to get that working. As soon as I hit save, it says I am a header. Right, so now we've got our header component being put into the component right now. Pranav says RAFCE is better. Yeah, that makes an arrow functional component. It's okay. It's whatever you want to do. That's completely up to you. Right, it's down to preference. However you want to do it, that's all good, man. Right, now also notice, guys, that the header is actually a sticky header, which means it actually sticks to the top. Right, so it actually sticks to the top. So we're going to show you how to do that as well today. Right, so I'm going to click into header.js, and the first thing I'm going to do inside of it is, remember I said we have 3 different sections. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is actually change this div to a header div. And can you see how I have to change both of these brackets? Right now there is a handy extension called, I think it's called, let's just type in, is it bracket? No, I completely forgot which one it was. Actually, it's going to be, it's a very handy bracket extension. If anyone knows the name of it, drop it in the comments. But this, again, like I said, I need to go ahead and change it. It's HTML bracket. Okay, no. All right. If anyone remembers it, go ahead and chuck it in the comment section and we can go ahead and use it. But I completely forgot what it was. Auto rename tag. There we go. This is what the Papa Fam's about. Auto rename tag. So make sure you get this extension. This is an awesome extension. Click install. And once this is installed, now look at this, guys. If I go ahead and type in a tag, you see how that changed, right? So you see how it changes the corresponding tag. That's a game changer for me, right? That's honestly a wicked little tip, right? So make sure you do that, and that will save you a ton of time. Okay. So now we still have 400 people watching. This is incredible. Thank you guys for sticking along, right? Let's get this build started. So first thing we're going to have, right, is we're going to have a div container. Remember I said we have 2 different containers here. Okay, so we have this first container, which is this one over here, right? And then we have a second container underneath it. Okay, so in order to structure that in my code, I'm going to represent that by having 2 divs. Okay, so I'm going to have my div, and I'm going to have another div. And this is going to represent the, let's just say the bottom nav, and this is going to represent the top nav. Okay, So for the top nav, what we're going to do is we have an image, we have a custom input, and then we have the right hand side. Okay. So inside of here, I'm going to have firstly a div, right? So inside this div, I'm going to have my image, right? So for the image right now, I'm not going to be just using a basic, a normal image tag. I'm going to be using the Next.js image tag. This is because it optimizes the image, right? So it makes the image incredibly compressed, right? And it doesn't lose the quality. It uses the new WebP image format. Doesn't matter what image you give it to it. I'll show you how to do it. But once you actually go ahead and set this up, it will actually beautifully like serve those images in the most optimized way. Okay, so really, really does help you out. Another interesting one everyone's saying is bracket pair colorizer 2. I personally don't use this extension, but I know a lot of people do. So if you want to use it, go ahead and feel free to use it. Okay, if that helps you guys out, feel free to go ahead and add that into your arsenal. So what we're going to do right now is import image from next image. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pop this in like so. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to my image tag. And inside of here, I'm going to pop in a source. Now for the source here, I'm going to go ahead and I've actually made the links incredibly easy for you guys. I've actually shrinked all of them down. So the first one is going to be https://links.papareact.com F90. Okay. So hopefully this should be easier for you guys to follow. Now I'm going to say a width of, guys, we just broke 300 likes. That's what I'm talking about. Let's keep going, guys. Let's hit the, 400 like mark. Let's just keep pushing these likes, get this out there as much as possible. Okay, I don't like to use autosave because I like to save on my own timing, right? I'm going to go ahead and change the width to 150, the height to 40. Okay, this will be the height to 40. Hit save, and now you can see this error will pop up. It'll say hostname links.papareact.com is not configured under the images, right, in your next config. So what we have to do here is whenever we use this special image tag, we have to set up Next.js so that way it knows that we are using the special image tag, right, for that domain. Right, so we have to actually kind of whitelist the sort of, where we're going to pull these images from. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is click on package.json, so I'm at this level, click add a new file. I'm going to do next.config.js. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and create a configuration file for our next setup. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and type in module.exports equals, and it's going to be an object. And inside of here, all I need to say is images and an object. And inside of here, I say it's domains. And this actually takes an array of domains. Okay. Now I need to go ahead and put in the domains that I'm going to whitelist, where basically I'm telling Next.js that I'm going to pull these images from. Now, if none of you have used Next.js before, or you're new to Next.js, put it simply, it's just a framework for React, which allows us to go ahead and sort of layer onto React and sort of, supercharge your app with server-side rendering, static site generation, and loads of good stuff like that. Jayesh Singh, thank you for the donation. Bagged my first React internship. Thanks a ton. That's incredible, dude. You absolutely deserve it. Keep on going, man. That's awesome to see that. Anyone else has any wins, share them as well, guys. So the domains that we're going to be whitelisting today are actually going to be links.papareact.com and the fake store API. Okay, so as I mentioned before, we're going to be pulling data from the fake store. Now let me go ahead and give you a little demonstration of what the fake store actually is. Okay, so if I type in fake store, so let's go ahead and say fake store API. Here you'll be able to see, let me go ahead and click agree. And then here you can see now, check this out, guys. Fake store API, this goes ahead and just pulls in a bunch of dummy data items. Okay, so you can see they have a bunch of items being served from a third-party API. And this is what we're going to be using to pull in all the information inside the store for today. Okay, so let's carry on, guys. So now you can see we've added this next configuration. Make sure you save it. And when we hit Command J, what we need to make sure we do is we need to go ahead and actually cut the server. So Control C and then rerun it. Okay, this is because we changed the configuration file. Okay, so there we go. Nice. Now this is what we want. Now guys, if you're not getting these folders, that's completely fine. These are just hidden folders. It may be on your computer that your computer doesn't show you hidden folders. I just have it enabled. Don't worry if you don't see these. It's all good. Okay. Right. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to go ahead and see if it pulled in. Perfect. Right. We get the little Amazon logo. Nice. Right. So now what we're going to do, go back to our header.js file. Okay. So now this is working the way that we need it to and the way that we want to. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and add another attribute called object fit contain. This means it will keep the aspect ratio. So you see how it slightly resized itself. Okay, so believe it or not, this is actually an Amazon logo. Can you see that? It's just on a white background. Okay, so object contain means we keep the aspect ratio that we were after in the beginning. Okay, so it's not going to distort the image at all. Then what we're going to do is add a class name, cursor pointer, because right now when I hover over it, my cursor is a normal cursor, right? So again, as I mentioned, we're going to be using Tailwind CSS. Now, Tailwind CSS, guys, is an amazing CSS framework library that introduces something called utility classes into our build, right? So what this means is it stays very close to the regular CSS we know and love, but these utility classes are basically these shorthand sort of strings that we can put into a class name, and it just powers up our app, right? So it makes writing CSS incredibly easy for responsive apps, and we never have to leave the file. So you guys are going to get you guys are going to fall in love with this right now. Okay, so check this out. We have cursor pointer, and if I go ahead and do this now, you should see that my cursor pointer should now go ahead and work in the way that we expect it to. Okay, so if it doesn't, then what you need to do, so you know when we started the server, you see how whenever you start your server, we didn't get the Tailwind warning. Okay, if you do not get the Tailwind warning, make sure you go to your Tailwind config file and you hit save, right? So sometimes this issue can happen. Okay, so when you're using Tailwind, make sure you go ahead and save it. Right, loads of people are asking what the configuration for next config was. It's simply this, right? So I'm going to put it on the screen just for a second, and this is simply to go ahead and whitelist the images that we're going to go ahead and use. Otherwise, Next.js throws an error. Okay, so make sure you guys go ahead and do it. And remember, this is going to be recorded, so if you miss it, just feel free to pause it and rewind. Okay. But let's go ahead and carry on strong. So we have our div up here. Now for this div, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and actually the surrounding div. Okay, so this div where we essentially have the top navigation, I'm going to go ahead and give it a bunch of class names. So firstly, I'm going to say it's a flexbox. Okay, and then I want to go ahead and say all of the items should be aligned in the center. So you can see these utility classes make it extremely easy. Now you're not going to see the difference right now, but it will make sense in a sec. Then we're going to say BG, and as I mentioned before, in our Tailwind configuration file, I added our own custom theme. So I added Amazon Blue, Light, and Default. Right, so what I'm going to be doing here is typing in BG Amazon, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do BG Amazon _ blue. And if I go ahead and hit save, oops, what have I done? Amazon Blue. There you go. That looks pretty clean, right? So this is looking pretty good if you ask me, right? This is looking pretty nice at the moment. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do a padding of 1. So that way it's not touching too much. And then we're going to say the top container should grow. So we're going to say flex grow. And I want to give a little bit more padding on the y-axis of 2. Okay. So you should be at this point right now. Right. Go ahead and smash the thumbs up button. We just broke 400 likes, guys. Incredible stuff. Strong viewership right now, 400 people plus watching. This is incredible. Keep on going, guys. You guys are doing amazing. The second div, we're going to go ahead and style it, right? So we're going to go ahead and say class name. I've also made the font a lot bigger for you guys now, so you guys should be able to see a lot easier. I'm going to say MT2 flex. So this means a margin top of 2, and this container should be a flex container. Again, for this one, I'm going to center the image. So item center, I want to make this a flex grow container. And what we can do is we can say when this container, right, there's going to be a sort of responsive element to this. On the mobile view, it's not going to do anything. But once it sort of breaks a mobile view and it gets past the small screen size, I want to make sure that it doesn't grow anymore. Right, so this will make sense in a bit. If it doesn't make sense right now, do not worry. It will once you get used to a little bit of Tailwind CSS. Okay, so that's what we're going to do right there. Okay, so now we actually have the top element done. So the next section that we're going to do is actually go ahead and implement the search bar. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this energy up. Let's keep on going, guys. Let's hit 500 likes. Look at this, guys. The chat is going off. Nice. The next section, we're going to go ahead and build the custom search element. Right, so this is the custom search bar that you see at the top. Okay, really, really nice stuff. Now, we're going to go ahead and build that right now. So for the top search bar, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and say that this is a div. right? And inside this div, we have an input field. Okay, so if I go ahead and hit save now, you can see, look at this, an input field comes in. Now, remember, I set this to flex grow in the beginning, and then once it breaks that small, right? So right now, can you see how this one is flex grow by default? And then when it hits past a small screen size, remember, this is mobile first, right? So right now, it's taking up as much room as possible with flex grow. Once it hits past a small screen breakpoint, boom, it no longer does flex grow because we apply flex grow 0. That's why that's happening right there, okay? We want that to happen, right? So Jose Carlos says, wow, really good explanation. Thank you. Amazing stuff, guys. Make sure if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe, because your boy is going to always be bringing the content. And my goal is to make it incredibly easy for you guys, okay? So now it goes, we have the input field over here, okay? So the next thing you want to do is we need the search icon. Now the icons, let me just double check if I've actually installed it inside the starter pack. So inside package.json, okay, we do not have the hero icons installed. So we need to go ahead and install hero icons. So hero icons are responsible for the icons that we're going to be using. For example, the basket icon, the search icon, and all this amazing stuff. And it also works very nicely with Tailwind CSS. So I'm going to go ahead and type in hero icons into Google, and then you guys should be able to see heroicons.com pop up. Okay, so if you are ever wondering how did Sunny find his icon, I go to the search bar, I type in search, and then you can see you get a solid variant and an outline variant. This is how I'm able to find the icons, and it works perfectly with Tailwind CSS. Jordan Wilson, what's up, man? He goes, I'm still in the gym. I got to mention at the start, mega pumped, love the support. And yes, Jordan made the Facebook account when I was like 14. Incredible stuff, man. Jordan Wilson, I remember that. Right, dude, welcome. So we're going to go ahead and click on documentation, and this will introduce us to the installation step. Okay, so if you're using npm, you can do npm install. I'm going to go ahead and use yarn. So I'm going to copy this, jump over back to my terminal, hit Command J, and instead of cutting my current server, I'm just going to split a terminal to have a second terminal over on this side. Okay, so this is the way I like to work. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say yarn add hero icons. This will go ahead and install it. Remember, if you're using npm, you can do npm install hero icons and it will work. Okay, so that's going to be really, really simple to go ahead and do. Programming Anytime says, me to God, I want to master web development. God, watch Sunny Sanka's YouTube channel. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that. Right, remember, I'm always learning too. Okay, so we grow together. Right, so now that we've got this done, Command J to hide that, and then we now have access to those beautiful icons that we saw previously. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull up we can close that one. Let's go ahead and pull up our code right here. So I'm going to go ahead and import the search icon into the app. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull in a few more things than just that icon, because I'm going to need 3 more icons throughout this portion of the build. So I'm going to go ahead and import the menu icon, the search icon, and the shopping cart icon from Hero Icons React Outline. Because remember, I said there were 2 variants, outline and solid. Okay, so make sure you go ahead and follow that when you're doing this. Right, so we've got, who said it? I just saw a really nice, Thanos, honey, you're amazing. I follow you since last summer and I've learned so much. Appreciate you, dude. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Incredible, incredible stuff, right? And remember, if you're having any problems, that's what the Facebook group is for, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go down here and we're going to go ahead and say search icon. And remember, guys, if it doesn't work, yeah, you don't just quit. Yeah, if you quit, you're never going to be a developer, right? The whole point of if you see when I'm building this stuff, I get stuck all the time. Okay, so I'm going to see the numbers naturally drop off. If you're a quitter, then development isn't for you, right? Perseverance is how you become the best of the best, and it's why developers get paid like a huge amount. Okay, so this is what you need to remember when you get stuck in those debugging situations. Stay positive, use a community, and this is how you go ahead and do it. Okay, so we've added in the search icon. I'm going to go ahead and give it a height of 12 and a padding of 4. Remember, these are Tailwind utility classes, and now you can see it's here, but it's just a little bit hidden. Okay, so how do I get that to show itself? It's actually easier than we think, right? So I'm going to go ahead and give this a background color. Okay, so I'm going to go to my div and I'm going to give this a background color, a class name, and here I'm going to say BG yellow, background color of yellow. And in Tailwind CSS, you have shades of color, right? So here you can see pretty much we have a shade of yellow here. And I'm going to go ahead and explain to you quickly in Tailwind CSS, so that way throughout the builds as we go on, it will make a little bit more sense. But Tailwind CSS introduces a beautiful color palette, okay? So as you sort of type in these utility classes, you can see everything just kind of, you know, gets applied to your coding, right? Environment. So you can see for the colors, you get a nice little color palette. So you see 50 all the way to 900, and that will give you a sort of color which is matched against over here, okay? And then you also get like shadows and all this other good stuff. So remember, it's really beautiful what you can do with this, right? Okay, so now we have that at the top, and obviously that's not really what we want to get to, right? So we're going to go ahead and also add in this hover effect. So right now I do want to have it so when I hover over it, can you see how it changes the color? Right, so you see how it changes the color whenever I'm over there, right? So the way I do that is I say hover, colon, and I say BG, yellow, 500. So it will change the shade now when I hover over it. Incredibly, incredibly simple, okay? Learn iCode skills with Rish. My God, hi Sunny, nice to see you. You're my inspiration. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate you for being here. Okay, now for this div, let's go ahead and style it out. Now, by default on the mobile, I actually want this hidden. Okay, so if it ever gets to a point where it's too small, I want it hidden. So you can see that right now it's hidden. Okay, now once it reaches a screen which is bigger than the small breakpoint, then I want it to become a flex box. Okay, so you can see on a small screen it's not visible. On a big screen it pops in. That's how we go ahead and introduce that, because I don't want the search bar on the small screen, and you can see this in practice on the final build. Okay, so you can see on the small screen it's not there, and on the big screen it is there, right? Now you can go ahead and customize it and make a small little search icon, but this is how you go ahead and do it. Okay, awesome stuff. So we have the small flex box being applied over here. We're going to go ahead and say items center, right? I'm going to give this a height of 10. Okay, and then for the border, because you guys can't see this right now, I'm actually going to go ahead and make this a bit smaller. There we go. We have a height of 10. Okay, then I'm going to say rounded MD. Okay, so you can see the corners just became rounded. Okay, so that gave it a nice rounded effect. Okay, then what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and see what else we need to apply. So I'm going to say this should be flex grow by default, because I want this to take up as much room as it possibly can to begin with. Okay. And this will make sense. Trust me, it will come together. Now, when I hover over this, my cursor is wrong at the moment, right? So how do I change that? I simply write in cursor pointer. And now I get a pointer when I hover over this, right? So this is looking really, really clean, right? Anyone who's having any streaming issues, just refresh. Stream looks pretty good today, I think. Everything is pretty smooth, okay? Touch wood, we're good. Right, so the next step, right, is to fix this input box, okay? So what we need to do is go to our input, hit class name, and then start typing in. Okay, so for the input box over here, I'm going to say a padding of 2. All right, so a padding of 2, and you can see that goes ahead and pads it out a little bit. Now I want to make the height full, so we're going to use up the full variant of the sort of available height. The width should be 6. Okay, now we will fix this, don't worry. And I want to make it a flex grow container. Okay, so this will go ahead and use up the majority of the room that we have. Okay, now you can see the left hand side hasn't got a rounded corner, so we're going to fix that in just a second as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and type in rounded, and what I actually want to do is I'm going to do flex shrink, because I do want to make this be able to shrink if needed, when it's needed, like if there is available space. So I'm going to go ahead and say rounded left side medium, and watch this left side get rounded off when I apply this, right? So very, very clean when we do that. Prashun says, Sunny, the stream quality is amazing. Honestly, guys, today everything seems pretty smooth. I don't want to say it too much, but I think we're doing pretty good for stream quality today. Right? I think me and Jay have cracked it in terms of how to get the perfect stream quality. And to be honest, it was Chrome. Chrome was killing me. Right? So now what I'm going to do is when I focus over this, right, I want to get rid of this blue outline. It's very subtle, but can you guys see that there is actually a blue outline when I hover over that, right? So this is called the focused state. So I click focus, I type in focus, and I do colon, and I just simply type in outline none. And now when I hover, when I sort of click into it, there's no blue outline. Okay, amazing stuff, guys. We just broke 500 likes. Incredible stuff. Let's keep on going, right? Let's keep on pushing. and we're going to go to, you know, 600, maybe 1,000. Let's go. Let's keep on pushing, right? Okay. Incredible stuff. And remember, if you haven't already, sign up to day 5 of the challenge, because that is where all the prizes get revealed, and you're going to get training as to how you can turn all of this into an income. Okay. So let's keep pushing, guys. So after we've done with that, I'm going to apply some padding on the x-axis of 4. Okay. And that means that inside, we're not going to then be constricted by the available space. So I'm actually going to go ahead and pull this into the middle right now. And what I will do is I'll make the font a little bit smaller. There we go. Okay. Nice. Now you can see we can type into our bar, and it doesn't matter how much we get. You see it still pretty much fits it in. Okay. So we've made our custom sort of search box over here. Now Adash says, how can you code so calmly? Guys, I really don't know what to say to that. I mean, do you guys code angry? Right? The best thing you could do is, even if it does get, you know, it does get frustrating at times, but you know, you stay calm, and just, you know, you want to go ahead and, you know, get this down right now. Whoever is spamming, don't worry, they're going to get sorted out. Right? So the next section is this right section over here. Okay, so we're going to build this right hand side corner over here. So that includes this section over here. Okay, now if you're enjoying the stream right now, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. I'm enjoying this so much, guys. Right, so we're going to be building the right hand side of the screen. So here I'm going to type in right. Okay, nice. Now inside this right hand side, we're going to have a div, because naturally we need a container to contain all this stuff. Okay, and what we're going to have is 3 divs. We're going to have a div for the following things. So firstly, we have the surrounding div. Okay, and then we have the first div, which is going to contain all this stuff, the second div, which is going to contain this, and the third div, which is going to contain the basket. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. All right, so you're going to say div, and I'm going to have a second div, and I'm going to have a third div. Okay, so we've got 3 divs. Right, now for the first div, I'm going to have a p tag. Right, and this p tag is just going to start off by saying hello Sunny Sangha. Right, or you can make it say whatever you want. Right, don't worry, do your thing. Right, and to make this a bit easier to read, on the top div, I'm going to go ahead and say the text should be white. Oops, text should be dash white. And then there we go. Then we can start seeing our sort of content come out. Okay, so you've got hello Sunny Sangha, and don't worry, we're going to make that dynamic if you're logged in. So do not worry, and this will be working. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to go ahead and say this one should actually be account and lists, right? So what we want to see is account and lists. Okay, account and lists, right? Now, some people are saying they're struggling with Tailwind CSS, right? Can I use regular CSS? Now you can, but again, why are you quitting, right? Give it your everything, okay? Just because it's something new doesn't mean you need to quit, right? You can use regular CSS, but you know, good luck making it fully responsive. You can definitely do it, right? But it's going to take you a little bit more time. Okay, so you can do it if you want to, but you know, I would recommend you get used to some Tailwind. Johanna says, enjoying the stream so much, the music, the code, the energy, hashtag Papa Firm. That's what we do, guys. Quick water break. Amazing stuff. Okay, guys, let's carry on. Right. So now we're gonna go ahead and continue with the remaining divs, okay? So this one's gonna have a p tag, and inside of here, I'm gonna say it returns. And you can see how Emmet is so useful, right? So here we're gonna have and orders, okay? So I'm just saying and orders, okay? And then you can see, look at this, it's kind of squeezing it in, because remember, by default, everything is kind of block, which means it stacks up on top of each other, right? Everyone's loving the, you know, the glass bottle. OGs are gonna know where that comes from. There we go. We've got the third div, and this one, we'll go ahead and have a basket, right? So for this one, what I'm actually gonna do is I'm actually gonna have a shopping cart icon. So we've actually imported it at the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say shopping cart icon. And then this one is gonna have a class name, and we're gonna say height of 10, because we have to give these elements a class name. The reason why that went white in the beginning is gonna go ahead is because it will go ahead and it's actually represented as text as well. Okay, so it actually goes under that rule. Now Isaac says, bear in mind that Tailwind is really messy for big projects. Now remember, you can make your own custom utility classes to reuse the long strings, and also you can go ahead and remember we're using React. So if you componentize things very well, it actually isn't. Okay, so I've used it for massive projects and it did perfectly. Okay, remember it's down to using the correct principles. And when you first use Tailwind, it may look a bit messy, but trust me, you will fall in love with Tailwind the more you use it. Okay. And somebody says it's like Bootstrap. Guys, it kicks Bootstrap's ass. Okay, so don't worry. Smash the thumbs up if you agree with me on that one. Right, let's hit 600 likes, guys. Right, let's carry on. We got the shopping cart open, and then we're gonna add a P tag and say basket. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so we have everything over here working pretty nicely at the moment. Okay, so what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna go to our top div at the top, right? So we have our sort of, you know, where it says text white, and then we're gonna say flex, and you can see everything goes into a row. Now everything isn't aligned in the center, right? So I'm gonna say items dash center, and this will pull it all into the center, right? Looks really clean here. Cesar Dev says Sunny music equals energy. That's what I'm talking about, dude. That's why we do what we do, right? And right now the text is too big. So I'm gonna say text becomes extra small. And there you go, it looks a little bit nicer. And what's really nice about this is you can go ahead and actually say, I wanna have spacing between all the elements on the x-axis of a certain amount. So here I can say space x 6. So it's things like this that make this Tailwind CSS so much better, okay? So this is so much better in my opinion than writing just regular boring CSS. I love Tailwind, okay? Like I will preach Tailwind now because it is so damn useful, right? And I've been a developer for over 10 years. Tailwind is bloody good, okay? So like use it, right? It's my opinion, use it, right? And we're gonna go ahead and apply a margin to the x-axis of 6 because right now it's touching this corner and this too much. So if I go ahead and hit save, you can see now it just works so nicely, right? Everything looks really nice. Now we are gonna apply one more rule here because I don't want things to wrap around if they get too long. So I'm gonna say white space, no wrap, okay? Now if you're not getting the little IntelliSense pop-ups, do not worry. In order to get that, all you need to do is go ahead and install the Tailwind, and I recommend you definitely do this. Install the Tailwind CSS IntelliSense extension, right? So this is what you definitely need if you're using it, okay? Ajit, thank you so much for that beautiful donation. Appreciate you, brother. Amazing stuff, right? And for anyone who says Tailwind CSS is like, you know, but like how much I need to learn regular CSS, you're actually gonna learn it still. Trust me when I say that, right? So it's incredibly powerful and it stays so close to the regular CSS that it's just, honestly, you're gonna learn while you're using it, even though you're doing Tailwind CSS. So it's just worth it, guys. It's worth it in every way, okay? So let's continue on strong. Okay, if you want to, for example, somebody just says, how do we justify content? So here you could just type in justify and you see all these options. It's that simple, okay? Well, I'm not going to justify here. Right, let's carry on. So we've got the div done for that one, okay? So the second thing I want to do is I want all of these ones, all of these links to be a pointer type, okay? So I want to have the cursor pointer applied to all of these. So I'm going to go ahead and use multi-cursor. Now to do multi-cursor, you click somewhere and then you click option on Mac and then you click the div and you click the div there. And you can see now I've got 3 cursors being applied. So now I can go ahead and say class name equals, and I'm going to say cursor pointer. So I'm going to say cursor pointer. And that's how you code really quick. little hack for you guys, okay? So I like to give these little, you know, these little sort of tricks and tips. And guys, I don't know if we're at 600 yet, but let's keep pushing to 600 because I think we're almost there, okay? We're almost there, right? Someone let me know how many likes we're at right now. This incredible stuff, right? So you can see now we've got the cursor pointer. Great. Now I do want to apply a bunch of different like class names to this right now, but I don't want to repeat. I just want to be able to say that this is a link, this is a link, and this is a link. Okay, we're at 558 likes. Awesome stuff, guys. Let's push for 600, right? So how do I create my own custom utility class, right? How does that happen, right? So what I want to do is if you want to create your own custom utility class in Tailwind CSS, all you actually need to do is go to your Tailwind config, your global styles. So right now, if we go to our styles, globals.css, inside of here, we type in @layer and we type in components, right? We type in components. And what this is doing is it's injecting a custom utility class into the components layer. And that's where all the other utility classes are pretty much sitting, right? Or it's kind of above it, if anything, right? So now what we're going to say is we're going to create our own custom link class. And to write Tailwind CSS in this CSS file, I just have to type in apply. And that's a little sort of trick, and it goes ahead and helps us for it. Guys, Quinn says we're at 586. We're close to 600. This push, guys, almost at 600, guys. We're almost there. Now, for the link, okay, I have applied it to the three things. So we've got link, 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 right? So now as we sort of apply these things, we should see it update, okay? So what I want to happen is I want to have each of these be a cursor pointer, so I can actually remove that from here. So a little trick for you guys, if you've got the same text, Command D makes you have the cursor again, so you can go ahead and delete like so, right? Hit save, and that's a very nice little trick. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go back, and then we're going to go ahead and say hover. When we hover over it, I want to do an underline. Okay, so now can you see when I hover over it, perfect, we get the underline on all three. So we've just created our first custom utility class. Now somebody says, Simeon says, what about styled components? In my opinion, Tailwind kicks styled components ass because it just integrates so nicely. You can integrate your JSX. You never have to move too far away from your code. It's just so much cleaner, in my opinion. Okay, this is looking great, guys. So well done if you're getting with me right now. And let's continue on strong. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is head back over to our header class, and then we're going to go ahead and style out the rest of our components. Okay, so we can see right this and orders and basket is actually bold. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and get to those p tag elements. And again, you could create a custom utility here, but I'm going to go ahead and do this. Morris says, what's up, dude? Nice beard. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and say class name, and it's applying to all three because we're using multi-cursor. And I'm going to go ahead and say font, right, extra bold, right? Now, if anyone's getting lag, that's on your side because the stream is crystal on my side, right? We just broke 600 likes. Amazing stuff, Papa Fam. This is killing it. We have 400 people across platforms. That's dope, right? Let's keep on going, right? So that's incredible, guys. Font extra bold. If I hit save, you can see it goes ahead and pops in. And we're also going to go ahead and add in. So we're going to say once we hit the medium screens, right? So on mobile, remember it's mobile first. So by default, it's going to be text extra small because the parent is extra small. But on the medium screens and above, we're going to go ahead and do a colon. A Bright Future says, I have a question regarding PWJ. I'm not in PWJ, guys. I am in Zero to Full Stack Hero. Okay, so that is my course. It's very different. papareact.com. You can check that out, right? So if you want to go ahead and check it out, remember, sign up first day. First link in the description. Be there for the 5th day, and I will answer questions and everything that you need to ask. Okay, so make sure you're there and you can join in. Okay, let's do this, guys. So we're gonna do medium, and I'm gonna go ahead and say text should become small, right, on the medium screens. Right, so it's actually going to get a bit bigger. So if you see, when we reach the small screen, it's actually a little bit smaller. And then when we reach a bigger screen, you see it's very subtle, but can you see how our counts and lists changes to be a bit bigger? Right? Awesome, awesome stuff. Right, guys, 1 second. Right. Let's carry on, guys. So we've got this looking pretty nice. Now the basket is not where I want it to be right now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make that look a bit cleaner right now. Okay, so oh, ho, ho, we got the Papa Fam coming in. All right, let's check this out. Right, so for the number, right, so I want to have like a little number represented at the top, right? So like a little circle with a 0 inside of it. So in order to do that, we're going to go ahead and do the following. So I'm going to have the div, and instead of the class name here, I'm going to go ahead and say, so firstly, we're going to make this parent relative because that little circle is going to be absolutely positioned inside of the basket div over there, right? Somebody just said water break. Thank you so much. I'm going to switch water bottle as well. I've got the nice little chili bottle here right now. Let's have a little quick water break. There we go. Hydrate yourselves, guys. Still at 400 strong. Let's keep going, guys. Nice. Let's go. So we've got the relative. Then we're going to go ahead and say link because we're going to apply all our link stuff. And I want this to be a flex container. Now you should see everything go into a nice little row over here, right? Awesome stuff. And then what we're going to do is position everything in the center. So item center, hit save, and you can see it pops in, right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to say we've already got cursor pointer being applied. So that's pretty good, to be honest, right? So that looks very good, very close to what we have over here, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my p tag with the basket in, and then I'm going to start applying a little bit more styles over here. So on a mobile view, I actually want to hide that basket, right? Because we might not have the capacity to show it. So you see that? I want to hide the basket on the mobile view, okay? So how do I do that? What I need to do is go over to my basket and say, by default, I want it to be hidden. So remember, it's mobile first, right? Which means it's hidden by default, but only show it once we reach a medium screen or above, right? So once we reach a medium screen, I want to make it inline, right? So you see now, when we do it, it's hidden by default. When we reach a medium screen, boom, it pops in. Very clean, very nice, okay? Really, really nice stuff. So now what we're going to have is we've got hidden MD inline, looking pretty good. We've got the extra bold being applied. And the final step to this is we're going to give a margin top of 2. Okay, hit save. And then you can see it pops down slightly, gives us room for that circle to be pushed in right above it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do for that little circle, you guys are going to see a little nice trick inside of Tailwind CSS right now. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and put it on mobile view, so that's completely fine. Actually, we'll keep it half, right? But above the shopping cart, I'm going to go ahead and do a span tag. Okay, so I'm going to have a span tag, and what I'm going to have here is actually a number. We'll eventually pull from Redux. Okay, so I'm actually going to restart the Papafan playlist. I think we actually went through, right? So I'm going to have a number here. So this will actually eventually connect to our Redux store, but for now, I'm just going to say, let's just say we had like 4 items in the basket. Okay, so you see right now it just says a hard 4 like so. Okay, well, let's just begin with 0 items in the basket, okay? Because you haven't added anything, I guess. So the way we're going to get this looking crisp is I'm going to do an absolute positioning on it. Now, absolute positioning without the parent being relative means it's absolute to the entire page. Okay, so it's going to be a bit horrible when you do that, but you don't want to do that. Okay, you want to make sure the parent is relative. Now, a lot of you are asking, is this going to be on the GitHub Papa or GitHub repo? Yes, I'm pushing this to the Papa GitHub repo. So if you do want to, shortcut it, you can do that. Okay, if you really do, I say give yourself the challenge and work for it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say right now, absolute. Right, so absolute. As soon as I hit absolute, we're going to go ahead and you see it kind of gets a bit close to it, right? So I'm going to say top should be 0 and the right should be 0 as well. Now you can see it goes to the right hand side. Okay. Now again, by default, I want it to be 0 because on the mobile view, this makes sense because it will be in that position. Okay. Which will actually look really great on mobile, but on the medium view, I want to kind of push it a bit more over to the right. So on the medium view, I want to say right of, let's give it a value of 10. And that will go next to the basket, okay, which looks a lot cleaner, okay? So now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go ahead and do height of 4 and a width of 4, okay? Height of 4 and a width of 4. And then I'm gonna say BG yellow 400, okay? And that will go ahead and give me a nice little yellow container, okay? So what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and style this one out. So BG yellow 400, I'm going to say text should go in the center of the element. So you can see the center will now get popped in. I'm going to say rounded full to make it a circle. And I'm going to make the text black. Okay. And then the final step is to go ahead and say font bold. And now you guys can see that. Look how clean that looks. Okay. And when it goes into the mobile view, check that out. Nice. Luke says, you mean GitHub? I don't know what else I said, dude, but that looks perfect. Look at that. Nice. Fully responsive. Looks amazing. Okay. So we've just done with the header portion. Let's keep on going, guys. Awesome stuff, right? Let's keep on. Again, if you're watching this, we have incredible retention right now. Jayesh says, I want to get into 0 to full stack hero. You can go ahead and speak to Jay about that one and he will help you out. But remember, if you want to join 0 to full stack hero, be there for day 5. First link in the description, sign up to that. I'm going to give you the best deal of your life. So that's when I open the doors to the community, to the course. After that, I'm closing the doors and we're going to focus on the course itself. So yeah, you remember, first link in the description, sign up. Okay, let's carry on, guys. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create the bottom portion, right? So the bottom portion is this one over here. So you see it's a light sort of color over here, okay? So underneath right now, we've got the bottom navigation, right? So inside of here, we're gonna have a bunch of different p tags, right? Now each of these p tags are the first one is gonna have this sort of menu icon with all next to it, okay? So this one is gonna be a p tag and it's gonna have all, but then it's also gonna have a menu icon before it. So what I'm gonna say here is menu icon, and then I've already imported this at the top, so you can see it, right? Finhar says, I'm not coding right now, although I will do it tomorrow. Yes, dude, please do it. I would love to see your progress, right? We're gonna do class name, and then here I'm gonna go ahead and say that this should be, the menu icon should be a height of 6 and margin right of 1, okay? Now you can see, look, it gets over there to the top right, okay? Now what I do want to do is I want to style that bottom navigation bar, okay? So firstly, I'm going to go ahead and say class name should become a flex box. I want everything to be itemed center, okay? So you should see like a, you know, a little bit of a, you won't see it yet, I guess. Right now, what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to say BG Amazon, right? So I want to be Amazon blue, but light variant. Okay, then we should see the light blue variant come onto it. Okay, now I want all of the text inside to be text white, and I want the text to be small. Okay, so now you can see everything pop in like so. Okay, and then what we're going to do is for the p tag over here, I'm going to say this is going to be a class name and it's going to be a link. So remember our custom link, it's going to be a flex with item center, so that way the icon goes in line with the all. Okay, so that looks damn clean. Right, that looks pretty nice at the moment. Okay, the second one I'm going to do is put a p tag in with prime video. Okay, this is going to have a class name of, let's go ahead and say link. Okay, and you can see right now they're kind of stuck together. Okay, so nice little trick you can do whenever you whenever you run into this headache is you go to your parent, which has the flex box, and you say space. Oops, oh god, what happened there? We say space X, SpaceX Elon, SpaceX 3, and now you can see it should push the elements 3 apart. And I'm also going to give it a padding of 2 all around, and then I'm going to override the left hand side, so padding left of 6, and then you see we get a nice spacing being applied. Okay, that's looking damn clean, right? Damn clean, guys. I think we're almost at 700 likes, so keep on pushing, guys. Really do appreciate you guys, and this is incredible stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and paste in a few more things right here. Okay, that's nice. Now on a mobile view, that's all I want to see, right? I don't want to see any more links, but when it gets to a bigger screen, I have room for some more links, okay? So what I can actually do is I can go ahead and add in a p tag, and let's go ahead and have electronics, right? So electronics. And then for this one, I want to hide it on the mobile, okay? So by default, it's going to be a link, but it's going to be hidden by default. Okay, so by default, we won't see it unless we reach a large screen. Okay, so if we hit a large screen breakpoint, I want it to become an inline flex item. Okay, so you now notice how on the large screens, so once I go a little bit larger, you notice how it comes in, right? So but on a medium and small screen, it's not going to be there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use the same principle for a few different lines over here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this. You can feel free to pause the video to catch up with that part here. So if I hit save now, you see on the mobile view, we only have a few small selections over here. And then once we go up, boom, right? Looks really pretty cool right now. Okay, so you can see how we have this perfect responsiveness being applied right now. Okay, so that's looking pretty good, guys. Okay, so with that said, we just finished the header component, okay? We are doing really good for timing. Let's go ahead and actually have a quick water break, and then we're gonna be implementing the banner and the product feed, okay? So we're gonna be implementing the banner, this lovely, beautiful banner with the gradient. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but look at this little gradient that fades in. And then we have all these product items where we're going to be using CSS Grid and the Fake Store API. And then at the end, we're going to deploy this thing with Vercel. And that's going to be your homework for today. We're going to kill it. We're going to go ahead and absolutely beast out this build. All right, guys, let's keep going. Right. Right. Okay. Oh, I went back a bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to our index.js. right? Now inside of our index.js, what we're first going to do is actually introduce a main container. So it's similar to a div, except it has a bit more of a useful property. Okay, so main over here, and then what we're going to have inside is, firstly, we're going to have a banner. And then we're also going to have the product feed. Now, I like to always, you know how I do it. I always like to comment things out so that way we have a kind of game plan for what we're going to build. Okay. Now, as you can see, what we have is also a max width being applied. So notice how on a small screen or medium screen, you see how the banner is kind of stretching, right? But the overall container never goes past a certain width. This is how Amazon do it. And what it does is it actually allows your users to concentrate their vision a little bit easier, right? So this is how you should be seeing your websites. And it shouldn't be kind of, you know, crazily zoomed out. I'm just trying to see if I'm completely zoomed out. There we go. All right, so you can see this looks pretty nice, okay? Does anyone know the shortcut for it? There we go. I think it's that one right there. Okay, perfect stuff. Emmanuel says, well, Sonny, what's the BG Amazon Blue value for the top header? So that's actually already configured in your Tailwind config. I already did that in the starter template. There we go. Okay, awesome stuff, guys. Let's continue on. So let's go ahead and firstly build out the banner. Okay, but like I said, to incorporate that max width, yeah, the way we do it is we simply go ahead, add a class name, and here we say max width, and this is when the screen hits a 2XL. Okay, and if we hover over it, it simply translates to a screen with max width 1500. And like we said, guys, when you're doing this with regular CSS, we kind of have to find the value, right? We don't want to find these values. We just want to go ahead and actually do a shortcut for, you know, having a standard for what medium, small, large is, right? I know for a fact I don't like to go ahead and deal with that. So this makes it a lot easier to have standards when you're doing this. Now, when you do that, the problem is that you actually are going to have, you want to center your element as well. So what we do is we apply a margin X, right? So I'm going to say MX, and then I'm going to say auto. Okay, and now this will actually go ahead and auto center us with everything inside of it. Okay, so this is looking pretty good right now. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and do banner, and we're going to go ahead and code up this banner element. Okay, so I'm going to hit save. And obviously it's going to freak out because we don't have a banner component. So I'm going to open up my banner, my components, and I'm going to add in banner.js _ RFCE to go ahead and create our functional component. And then once we're inside of here, we're actually going to use a really nice library called React Responsive Carousel. Okay, so this is actually going to be React Responsive Carousel that we're using. And then this is the one that we're using, React Responsive Carousel, like this. Okay, so this is what we're going to be using. You can see it's got a very good weekly download. That's the number that I typically go to and see what we're going to be having, if it's any good or not. Okay, so they've got some great docs, but I'm going to make it super simple for you guys to go ahead and get using with this app, right? So firstly, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and import it in my index.js. We stop getting the error. So there we go. Banner is being imported now. We can get rid of that and we don't get the error. Now I'm going to go into my banner, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to install that dependency. So I need to type in yarn add React Responsive Carousel. Okay, and that will go ahead and install that dependency into the project. I can hide that with Command J, and now I have my banner on the screen. Okay, if you guys are having a good time, smash the like button and let me know if you're enjoying this right now. Okay, let me know if we're at a good pace, if you guys are enjoying the content that you're seeing right now. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and then pull in this carousel component. Now the carousel component is this beautiful component. Once again, I'll just give you a little glimpse. It's this component here, okay? So we're gonna use that when we're building this out. So the first thing we're gonna do is have a class name, okay? This class name is going to be relative, right? Because again, we're gonna have something absolutely positioned inside of this container, okay? So we have to make the container relative, otherwise it's gonna just fly to the top of the screen somewhere, right? So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna say the carousel. We're gonna pull in our carousel component, right? So the carousel component works in a pretty cool way, right? So they already have a few different attributes that we can go ahead and add to the component that we're pulling in. The first one that I wanna do is autoplay, right? This is gonna allow us to have this autoplay functionality where it just starts scrolling by itself. Okay, so if you notice when we're on this page, after a certain point, I mean, it's not doing it right now, but after a certain point, it will start scrolling over. If you go to sunnysanger.com, you'll see it automatically starts playing. Okay, then what we want to do is infinite loop. This means when it reaches the third carousel, it just loops back around. Okay, so it just keeps on going ahead and doing that over and over and over again. Okay, so that's going to help you out. The final one I'll do is show status. This will go ahead and hide a little status bar, but you can feel free to, play around with that. I'm going to do something called show indicators false. These are like the 3 little dots that you typically see on these carousels. I don't want to see that. I want to kind of hit it, hide it, and then we're going to get rid of show thumbnails, because by default, it actually shows these small little thumbnails of the carousels that you can go through. And then the final thing you can do is set an interval. By default, it's 3 seconds, but we're going to set it to 5,000 milliseconds, which is 5 seconds. Okay. Now to get this working, it's pretty simple. We simply add in 3 divs. Okay. So these are going to represent each of the carousels that we're going to see on the page. Okay. So these are the 3 divs that we're going to see. All right. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Almost at 700 likes, guys. Come on, let's keep going. Right now, inside of here, we're going to have an image tag. Now, this image tag is going to have, let's go to our source. And these, I've made them super easy for you. So I'm going to go ahead and pop in the source for the first one. And then it's very important you do loading lazy, right? So what this will do is it will go ahead and actually make the loading for that component lazy loaded by default, which is incredibly important, guys. I can't stress this enough. Very important to do that. Okay, extremely important to do that. And it means that it doesn't, slow down your user's experience. I'm then going to go ahead and copy and paste this into the same port. And I'm going to change these ones. So the second one is 6FF. Oops, 6FF. And then the final link is actually going to be 7MA. Okay, so now we've got our 3 links. Now, obviously, you can't see anything, right? So you can't see anything inside the screen right now. So how do we get it on the screen, right? You see there's a little flicker, but we're not seeing everything, right? The reason why this is working is we haven't actually set up the thing as we need to completely yet. Let's just double check something quickly. So you can see right now it's kind of getting squashed over here, right? There's some strange stuff happening over here right now. So we need to go ahead and actually check out what's happening. So the first thing I want to do is we've got a relative. We've got, let's just double check that we've done it all correctly. We've got our banner. And then what we want to do is go back into our index. Let's double check that we've got all of this being applied correctly. We've got a max width screen MX Auto, awesome stuff. Okay, so the final thing you want to do, guys, is actually import the CSS right into the component, right? So if you check out the page that we used, so if we go into the header, where's it gone? Banner, right? So right now, the final step that we're actually missing is if we go to React Responsive Carousel, the site, I'll show you guys an important step that you should not miss because it results in this booky looking design, right? So we forgot to do one step. So we go ahead and we need to do this import over here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And now inside, you see like it's there, but it's not there. Right? And the reason being is because the styling is simply not there. So I go into my banner, I simply paste it, and now we have, boom, look at that. That's awesome. Look how clean that is, guys. That is amazing right there, right? And look at that, it just perfectly responds. And then remember that max width that we set earlier with the margin X auto on index.js just cleanly comes into play. Okay, so this is looking really good right now. I think we're going at an amazing pace. Well done, guys. Absolutely incredible stuff, right? And we are almost there. So stick with me. We will get this finished. Now, I want to have this nice little transition and gradient that goes from, the solid color down to the white. Okay, so how do we go ahead and do that? Well, the first thing I want to do is actually change the background to the gray color of Amazon. So I'm going to go into my div in index.js. And here I'm going to say BG gray 100. Okay, and this will go ahead and actually make the background. We can't see it fully right now, but if I make the height of the screen here, screen, you're going to see it then. So then it turns to the slight gray, but we don't need that. Okay, we don't actually need that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back into our banner component. Shops Rice is amazing build. There we go, guys. Keep on going, right? And Jay's literally feeding me with the metrics right now about how many likes we got and all that good stuff. So it keeps me pumped up with the energy, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and have a div, okay? So inside of the banner right here, I'm going to go ahead and have another div. So I'm going to have a div like so. And then we're going to have this is going to be a self-closing div. Okay, now this is a nice little trick, and you're gonna probably find this one very useful. Somebody says I talk really fast, but I'm trying my best to kind of slow down, right? But hopefully, you know, it helps you guys out. And remember, these videos do get uploaded with subtitles, so it should help you out when you're watching this back. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this absolute, okay? But I'm gonna make it width of 4. So what we're doing here is we're gonna basically put an imaginary sort of, you know, hidden container, which is of a gradient from gray to transparent, which will overlay it, and then it should be able to create this transition effect for us, okay? So I think that's gonna help us out. Indonesia is in the house, okay? Let me go ahead and check this one out. So we've got a height of 32 for that imaginary gradient. And here I'm gonna say BG, and this is how easy it is to do gradient inside of Tailwind CSS. We see BG gradient to T, right? This means to the top. So from the bottom to the top. And all you need to do is specify 2 colors. So the first one from color is gonna be gray. Now guys, how many likes are we sitting at right now? Tell me, shout it out. From gray, 100. Okay, so if I do that right now, you're gonna see from gray, and then we're gonna say to transparent, because I wanna go from gray to transparent, okay? And then the final step I need to do is say bottom 0. Okay, 684 likes, guys. We are almost at 700. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up. Subscribe if you already haven't, because guys, there's like 60% of you watching right now who isn't subscribed. Crazy, right? We're gonna say to transparent bottom 0, and then Z20, which means it comes above. Z index is basically where it gets layered on the page. So as soon as we do that, boom. Can you see that nice little gradient, right? So that looks clean right now, guys. And the reason why it probably doesn't look like it's doing it correctly, if I do from white, you'll see the difference, right? You see how it perfectly does it with white. The difference is because we haven't got any content underneath right now. So right now it doesn't look like it's working, but it is working, right? It will go into the gray once we have the content being on the screen. But look how clean that is, guys. A beautiful looking gradient right now. There, right? Amazing stuff. We just broke 700 likes. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Keep it up. Another little water break, and then we're going to implement the fake store API and get this page built out and finished. Then we're going to deploy this thing, and that's going to be your homework for today, guys. So get ready. We're going to kill this one. Okay? Right, let's do this, guys. Right. So first thing we're going to do right now is go ahead and build out the rest of it. So we're going to need quite a few water breaks today. Hit the gym today. I think it hit me hard. Right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and go to our index, and let's go ahead and create the actual product feed. Okay. So very important step right now. We're going to create the product feed component. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and hit this one, and obviously we'll get an error because we need to create the product feed. So we're going to go into our components, add product feed.js. Okay. And now I'm going to do underscore RFCE. Nice. And then here you go. No, it's good. Most teachers talk slow and can make me fall asleep. Haha, nice. James Ninja says, I gotta go now, but this NG is insane. Thank you. Insane stuff, dude. Make sure you get the homework done, submitted. I want to see how you do, man. Okay. So we're going to go to our product feed component. Now, for this component, how do we make this one work, right? How do we get this thing happening? So firstly, I'm just going to say products here, ... Right? And we're done. I'm joking. We're not done yet. Right? I'm going to go back to my index.js, and I'm going to go ahead and import it like that. Okay. Then we got products here. So you can see this is where the rest of the page is going to get rendered right now. Okay. So the way that we get this working is we're going to be using something called server-side rendering to fetch all of the products from that fake store API. Okay. So if I go over to fake store API right now, you're going to see, check this out. You're going to see the fake store API. Now this is a REST API. So if you've been wanting to a REST API, then it's going to be crazy stuff. You're going to be able to see this. Right sheet says playlist. If you want a playlist, sign up to a newsletter. You'll get the playlist automatically. Incredible, right? It's so much. we thought of everything, guys. Okay. And this is an example of how we do a fetch. Okay. So guys, remember, we are using Next.js, right? Which means that it's not just a basic React app. The difference with Next.js is, let's say Sunny visits google.com, and let's say Google is a Next.js website, right? usually with a typical React app, Sunny just hits google.com and then everything loads on, you know, Sunny's browser, right? Everything kind of comes up on the browser. But with Next.js, think of a server sitting in the middle, right? So Sunny makes a request to Google. It hits this middle server first, right? Then everything can get calculated on the server. The server can build the page out and then it gets sent to Sunny's browser, right? Which means that the browser doesn't actually have to do any work and doesn't have to fetch any information. The information is being fetched on the server, hence server-side rendering, and then the page gets delivered. So on the server, our mission right now is to fetch the data from Fake Store API, render the page out, and then deliver it to Sunny, right? So whoever comes to the web page. So that's going to be incredibly, it's actually pretty simple to do when we're using Next.js, okay? But this is really powerful stuff. So pay attention right now. It's going to get really interesting right now, okay? And remember, if you haven't signed up for the day 5, first link in the description, crucial you do that, okay? Very important. So what we're going to do right now is whenever we want to do a server-side render, so whenever we want to do anything, you know, in the server render, you want to go ahead and do export async, and you need to go ahead and say function get server side props, okay? And this is basically, it gives you something called a context. Oops, and then we go ahead and do this. Now, just by having this function in this file tells Next.js that this is no longer a static page. It needs to have that middle server step, right? So we're going to basically, we're saying, please calculate something on the server first, render out the page, and then deliver it to the user on the page, rather than just sending the entire site to the user, okay? So this is what we have when we do get server side props. And then what we're going to say now is we're going to say const products, because I want to fetch the products from this API. And the way we do it is we say await, right? And then if we check out the endpoints, right? So they have a bunch of different endpoints here. And let's look at the one I'm interested in, this get endpoint called products. If I click it, you see, look, it gives me a JSON file with all these products inside of it, okay? So this is simply an API endpoint. So it's https://fakestoreapi.com/products. Okay. So right now I'm going to go ahead and hit copy on that. So we've actually got the API endpoint, right? And the API endpoint, I'm just going to paste it in a comment down here. So this is literally the API endpoint. We're going to make a get request to this endpoint and fetch the products. Okay. So here I say await fetch, and fetch is a built-in function, and it's await because it's going to be an asynchronous call. Right. So now what I'm going to say, Harman says, are you teaching in PWJ? I'm not in PWJ. I have my own course, and that's called 0 to Full Stack Hero. So if you're interested in that, first link in the description, sign up, be at that final 5th day reveal where I open the doors to my course and you guys can jump in and feel free. Okay. Benefit of server-side in this scenario is that all the products don't get loaded asynchronously when the page loads. If you don't do server-side rendering, you get a little, like a few seconds when the page loads and there is no products. You want all the products to be on the page the minute the page loads. For example, when I come onto this page, there's no loading, right? As soon as I hit this page, everything is loaded, right? So literally all the images are here. There's no like jitter where there's no images and there's some. It just all is there before because it got rendered on the server. So here I'm going to go ahead and pop in the endpoint fetch, and then I'm going to go ahead and say dot then, and then here what we do is whenever we get a response, I need to get it back as JSON. So we say get the response and just simply do res.json, which will give us the JSON back. Okay. So once we've done this, we now have the products. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys in full screen. We now have the products being poured in. Okay. So if you just make sure you type this one out correctly. Now, the amazing part is, guys, oh my goodness, I wasn't sharing it. Sorry. Thank you, Cesar David. Okay. There we go. Const products. So make sure you guys copy this one out very cleverly. Okay. Very like sort of slowly so you don't make any mistakes. But there we go. At least I know you guys are paying attention, right? That's incredible stuff. Smash the like button. And I think we just broke 700 likes, which is crazy, guys. Let's keep going. 800. Come on, 800. We can do this, guys. Right? So now we've got the products. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and return it. So how do we now, once we've done the server-side render, how do we pass that data along to the actual component, right? So it's simple. It literally comes from the server to the browser as literally something like a prop. Okay, so all I need to do here is say Avni says 732, amazing stuff. We simply return it as props. right? And then inside the props, we simply just put in anything we want. So here I'm going to say products. Now ES6 allows us to, rather than saying products, key, and the value, I can simply go ahead, and if it's the same name, you can shorthand it as products. So now we're returning props, and these props get passed in just as we expect it normally to happen in a React component. So React components can take in, they can take in some props. So here, ES6, we can destructure and pull out the products inside. So now if we want to go ahead, and I can get rid of this comment, right? So now what we've actually done is fetched it. So to test that everything looks good and works, we can go ahead and actually go ahead and right click, or where's my inspect? Oh, I haven't actually got, silly thing. Right, so what I could do actually to show you guys, I'm not going to open up Chrome because it's annoying. I haven't actually enabled my developer tools here. But what we can do is I can type in a P tag underneath the product feed just to show you, and I can type in products, right? And then we should be able to see, if we refresh, React child, okay, don't worry about that. Right, I'll prove it to you. It'll make sense, don't worry. I'll enable that for tomorrow. Right, so the products have come through as a JSON API, right? So now we have a JSON object, a massive JSON object, which looks something like this. This is now being stored inside of our product. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass that through to the products here. Okay, I'm going to pass that through over here. I'm going to hit save. Okay, now I'm going to say product equals the products that come through here. And remember guys, the deadline for the homework, as long as you get it done before day 5, that's when you're going to go ahead and get the points. Okay, so there we go. And now we come to our product feed component where we get props come through. We can do destructuring and pull through the products, right? And now we can render out the products. Okay, so how do I now, get those products in the way that I want it, right? So how do I actually go ahead and show that product information? So the way that we do this is actually pretty cool, right? So what I can do is I'm just going to show you an example that the products are actually here, and I'll prove it by saying products.map. For every single product, I'm going to iterate through. I'm just going to go ahead and return a P tag, and let's just go ahead and say something like the title. So this was actually a prop that gets returned. Product.title, sorry. Right, now you should be able to see, look at this. All the products are coming through, guys. That's incredible, right? Really, really clean stuff, right? Come on, guys, stick with me. You're almost there, right? We're going to go ahead and render out all of the products now. This is destructuring over here, right, that we just did. So I'm actually going to go ahead and create a reusable product component to make that happen in a really clean, sleek way. And we are so close to wrapping up on today's build, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a product component that will actually contain all of the information that we have here. So when I actually iterate through, there's a bunch of different values that we get from this product. So rather than just saying product.title, product.something else, what I'm going to do is destructure it. I'm going to destructure here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the following information from it. This means I no longer need to say product.title. I can just do the following. So this gives me all of these values, which comes back from that response that I showed you earlier. Okay, so this is how we're going to go ahead and actually render through. Okay, so now we're gonna, Marty says this build is insane. It's already looking so freaking cool. Hell yeah, dude. So this is gonna be clean, and it's gonna be so powerful when this thing is done. So stick with it, guys. I promise you, I'm delivering on this one. Now what I'm gonna do is create a reusable component, and I'm gonna call this one product.js. Okay, underscore RFCE. And now we have our product component. Now this is where we sort of accept our props in this component. And this is going to follow the same similar structure that we had previously. Okay, so this product over here is actually going to follow the structure that I showed you. So it's going to go ahead and take in props of this nature. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hit save now, get rid of our banner. We've got our product feed. So how do I render out the product that the way that we need it? Okay, so instead of rendering a P tag here, I'm going to render a product. So I'm going to import my product, and then I'm going to go ahead and have a self-enclosing tag. And then all I need to do now is remember, whenever you do any mapping in React, it's critical that you include a key. This tells React when it maps through those values that it basically then React knows which element is different from another element. If you don't include a key, it's not going to be able to re-render that list efficiently. It just goes ahead and re-renders the entire list, which is very bad for performance. So the key is the ID in this case. Okay, The rest of the props are going to be as follows. So they literally are as their names are. Okay, so ID, title, price, and everything like that. This comes through as props over here. Okay, so this is really clean, right? It looks really, really good right now. And then what we're going to be doing next is we're going to go ahead and have we're going to go ahead and actually style out our first product. Okay, so stick with me, guys. Almost done, right? So for the div, we're going to have a few things. So the div that you're going to be creating right now is this element over here. Okay, so this element that you see right over here. So let me go ahead and get my little brush. This element over here is what we're going to be building. So we've got this beautiful image. We've got the add to basket button, men's clothing, and all that good stuff. I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and do this. And what I've actually done, guys, is I've randomized the sort of stars and if it has prime delivery or not based on every time you re-render. This is because it's a demo. Okay, so if I go ahead and refresh, you'll notice that the number of likes and the has prime is just going to be random, just to go ahead and, you know, show you a little bit of, you know, random stuff like that you can have on the build. And remember, it is a demo, so we're going to be able to go ahead and have something there. So I'm going to go ahead and hydrate quickly, guys. Go ahead and have a quick water break if you haven't already, and then let's go ahead and break 800 likes. Maybe we can break it during this, you know, during the water break. Damn, you actually need that. Okay, guys, let's do this. So for the product, right, what we're going to do is we have the outer div. We have inside the, we're going to have a P tag, and this is going to resemble the category. Right, so the first thing, we're going to resemble the category. So you can see men's clothing, jewelry. So every item has some kind of category, okay? So Ben says, can't read property map of undefined. You probably haven't passed it through as a prop, dude. So remember, you just make sure you go through this code very carefully, and you're probably not passing through your props in the correct sense. Okay, otherwise you will get that issue. So we have to pass it down as a prop, and then it will render out. Okay, otherwise, and remember, you can use a Facebook group to go ahead and get help. So right now, what I'm gonna do is Sunny shows more in 1 hour than some Udemy courses in 10. Hell yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. Right, so we're going to also be using the image tag to show those images off. So this is not the normal image tag. We're going to be using the next image tag. Okay, so image. And I'm going to go ahead and pop in the source, right? And I've already whitelisted this. Do you remember we did it earlier? This is going to take the image prop as the source. The height and width in this case. So height is going to be 200. And the width as well is also going to be 200. So let's go ahead and pop this in. And then we're going to give object fit contain, object fit contain as our prop. Okay, and that's going to allow us to keep the aspect ratio. So our images are starting to come in, right? Looking very good right now, guys. Looking awesome stuff, okay? So now what we're going to do is we've got the image already showing. I am now going to have the title. We're going to have a H4 for the title because it's going to be better for SEO purposes. Hit that button, there we go, and the title pops in. Okay, so you can see things are starting to come in, right? Now for those stars, right, like I said, I'm gonna have a random number for everything for the star generation. Okay, so for the rating, to very simply put, right, I'm gonna go ahead and have a piece of state. A piece of state is like a short-term memory per component. Okay, so Walter By says so clean coding. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate you, dude. Miles says I'm gonna watch this later. Thank you so much, dude. Here we're gonna create a piece of state, and this is gonna have rating. Typically we say set rating, but I'm not gonna have any setter after this, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and you know, set this value. We're gonna go ahead and create a piece of state here. So we're gonna import it from React. Now for the initial value, right? If I give this a rating of 2, I'll show you what happens there. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm actually going to firstly import the star icon from hero icons. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and import star icon like so. And if I was to go ahead and just simply pop it on the screen, what you're going to see is, you know, a basic star. A basic star icon. So if I was to simply do this with a class name of like H5, you're going to see a star pop on the screen. Okay, so that's the kind of star that we're after. But I want to do a little bit more than that, right? Let's say we have 3 in here, right? I want to go ahead and map through it and then render it out. So little trick you're going to learn right now. If you have a div, right, with, so we're going to have a div surrounding it, sorry. But right now what I'm going to do is have a map. Okay, so I'm going to say array, and I'm going to create an array. This is a very nice little trick. An array of 3, okay? And then I'm going to fill it with empty values, and then I'm going to map through. Okay, so I'm going to map through those values. And then what is going to happen here, I'm simply going to go ahead and map through. And then what we can do is this gives us two values in here. We can just do underscore. We don't care about the first one. And the second one is an index. So just don't worry too much if you don't understand what happened there. But we're creating an empty array, filling it with empty default values. We don't care about the initial value. We just care about the index. And I'm going to go ahead and push the star icon in now. So if I have 3 there, we should see 3 things being popped in, right? But instead, what I need to do first is the class name of flex. And then if I hit save now, we should see we've done a slight, let's have a look. Oh yeah, so the slight issue that you might run into, rather than using curly braces, you need to use a regular sort of parentheses to do a return. Okay, and then boom, we get 3 stars. Now if I change this number to 4, you can see 2, 5, even 6. You see how it works, guys. It looks very clean. Okay, so extremely nice little trick that you can use. But I want to randomize that number for every single item. So you can use this little mathematic formula right now. The mathematic formula goes like this. We're going to say math.floor, right? And then we basically go ahead and do the following formula. Okay, so I'm actually going to go ahead and actually copy something out, and you guys can feel free to use it as you wish. Okay, so this code right here will generate a number between a maximum rating, which we need to set, and a minimum rating. Okay, so all this is doing is if max rating is 5 and min rating is 1, it will generate a number between 1 and 5. Okay, so in order to get this to work, we need to create 2 variables, one called max rating and one called min rating. And you can just change these numbers, and now we have a perfectly working randomized function. There you go, look at that. Everything has its own random star value. And if you want to upgrade this, you can obviously pull in the value from the database, right? The rating, the value, or it could come through from the API. In this case, it didn't come with a value, so I just went ahead and randomized the rating. Okay, so the fill literally just created an array with empty values in. Okay, so it's a very nice little trick. Okay, so we've got our stars in there now, right? I'm also going to do the same thing for if it has prime or not. Okay, so you can see here some of them have prime, and this is based on a random action. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create another piece of state called const has prime, and again this is going to say use state. Okay, and the way we do this is we just need a Boolean value of just true or false. So nice little trick here. I can go ahead and say math.random. The British isn't coming out there. And then we just say if it's less than 0.5, because math.random generates a number between 0 and 1. And we're just randomly saying if it's below 0.5, then it has prime delivery. If not, it's going to not have prime delivery. Okay. And the way that we show that is I will show you, we can use that in a sec, right? But if I want to go ahead and prove it, I could just say has prime and p tag of, let's just say p tag of has prime delivery. So now you can see some of them have prime delivery, some of them don't. Okay, but we're not going to have that just for yet, so we're going to get rid of that. Okay, so we've got the stars in place, we've got the prime delivery set up. The next thing I'm going to have is the description. So I'm going to pop in the description over here. Okay, now you can see nice, we get a little bit of description popping in, and then we're going to go ahead and pop in a div. Right, now for this div, we're going to be using a currency. Okay, so we're going to have a number value here. Now when you're dealing with currencies, right, we're going to be using an external package. This external package is called React Currency Formatter. So in order to install this, all you need to do is pop up your terminal and go ahead and do the following, guys. You want to hit in yarn add or npm install React Currency Formatter. Okay, this will go ahead and install the dependency that you're after. Once that's done, you can go to the top of your file and import currency as seen at the top, right? So we're going to go ahead and copy that. And we're going to go to the bottom where we have under our description, we just introduced a div. And here I'm going to go ahead and pop in the currency. Okay. Now this very unique, like very kind of handy little component takes a quantity prop. The quantity in this case is the price. And the currency by default is US dollars. But I want to go ahead and change it to GBP because, you know, representing Britain. Okay. There we go. Now you can see we've got the pricing coming through as well. 55, 22, 109.95. Okay, looking very slick right now. Now I wonder if we have broken 800 likes, right? Right, so give me 1 sec, guys. So I wonder if we've broken 800 likes. Let me know. All right, let's carry on, guys. This is a very handy package, by the way, the currency one. Okay, now what I'm going to do is introduce the prime. So here I'll say, if you have prime, only then should you render what I'm about to say now. So we're going to have a div, right? And then I'm going to say an image. We're 8 likes away, guys, from 800 likes. So go ahead and smash the thumbs up if you're enjoying what you're seeing. Already have over 350 viewers across platforms. This is insane, guys. Rookie says, you are a rock star in React. Keep it going. Thank you, guys. Appreciate the support. Right? Here we're going to have an image tag. For this image tag, we're going to have the source is going to be simply a prime logo. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and pop this in like so. Oh, just broke 800 likes, guys. Crazy stuff. Let's keep on going strong, Puppet Fam. 900. Let's go. All right. So we've got an image being rendered in now, which is going to, if I go ahead and hit save, we should see the ones that have prime delivery. You can see they get a little prime tick. And we're going to go ahead and it won't even take long, guys. We're going to change this into this. Believe it or not, this is going to become this very quick. Okay, so trust me on this. It's going to happen extremely quick. Get ready. Don't even blink. All right, we're going to go ahead and say free next day delivery. Free. We're just going to say it's next day delivery. And I'll show you how to. We're even going to set this up in Stripe. Oh, God, I love this music. It's such a vibe, honestly. We want a fitness vid. I actually just came back from the gym. I will do that afterwards. Okay, I'm going to introduce a button afterwards, and it's going to say add to basket. Okay, nice. So now we have a button at the end of it as well. Okay, so we have our product being shown, but I need to now make it look like the way we expected it to, okay? So let's go ahead and start from the top and style out our button, okay? So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to have a div. And the first one I'm going to say class name, right, equals, I love the support. Tawid says hashtag Papa. There we go, guys. Add the class name relative. This is going to be a flex box. It's going to be a flex column because everything should take up the maximum width. Margin of 5. Oh, oops. Let's go ahead and check this out there. Margin of 5. BG is going to be white. Okay, so background of white. All right, let's go ahead and check this in there. Background of white. 800. Let's keep going, guys. Nice. And then let's go ahead and say Z index of 30. Right, Z index of 30 and a padding of 10 because we want to pad the inner contents. So it's already got a glow up. Okay, already got a nice little glow up right now. Okay, so now what we're going to do is style the category. So the category, remember, the parent is relative, so we can now do an absolute positioning on this to make our life a little bit easier. We're going to say absolute top 2, right? So it's going to stick to the top a little bit of 2. There we go. And then we're going to say right of 2 as well. Okay, so right 2. There we go. 835 likes. Right, guys, now remember, if you haven't already, sign up for the last day, right? I can't believe your attention. First link in the description. Make sure you sign up for that final day. It's going to be massive, right? And I really want you guys to like win something big in this prize, and you guys are putting in so much work right now, so you only deserve it. So keep on going, guys. We're going to do an extra small italic, right? Let's go ahead and pop that in. You can see already looking pretty good, guys. And we're going to say text of gray 400. Wow, we just got a super chat. Incredible stuff. Thank you. Lou Ramala says, Sunny Sanga, your builds are really awesome. We love learning by doing. You're really helping us up our game. Let's go. Thank you so much, dude, for that lovely donation. What is ZAR? I'm not sure what ZAR is, but we just hit 850 likes. That's some crazy stuff, guys. Let's go. Okay. Gets me hyped up, man. Honestly. The H4. Let's go ahead and start this one. So we've got the class name here. And we are so close. You don't understand. We are so close, guys. We're going to do MY of 3. And this will go ahead and apply a little bit of, spacing between the title and the image. And then the next thing we're going to do is actually make those stars, that little Amazon color. So text yellow. And we're going to do a 500. Hit save. South African Rand. Okay. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate you. Now we've got the little, yellow stars looking great. Okay. Go to the description. And here I'm going to go ahead and do a class name. You guys can see why I love Tailwind, right? Text extra small here. I'm going to go ahead and do a margin top of 2, margin bottom of 2. So actually we can shorthand this one when you do that to margin Y of 2, right? So that's actually a very nice little trick if you didn't know it. And then we're going to do a very nice little thing here, because you see how some of the descriptions are very long. In the Tailwind config, you can see I've added in a plugin called line clamp. So what we actually, and I actually had that in the starter pack already, so you don't have to worry about installing it. Here we just do line clamp, and I can just say, okay, after 2 lines, we're going to clamp it. Which means now, you see after 2 lines, it goes ahead and truncates it. That looks clean, right? That looks really clean when we do that, right? Let's keep on going, guys. Oh my God, I just can't believe your support. It's incredible. Thank you so much, guys. Right, so this is Tailwind, yes, right? So we're gonna go to the currency on the over here, the div, and we're gonna say margin top of, margin bottom of 5 to make it a little bit more clean, okay? And then the prime, okay? So where we've got prime popping up, I want this to look a little bit nicer right now. So this div, I'm gonna go ahead and hit this div and say flex. I want it to be item center, space on the x-axis of 2, so that way everything kind of spaces out between itself. And I want a minus margin top, minus margin top of 5, okay, because I kind of want to bring it a little bit higher into its element, okay? Then we've got the image itself. I'm actually going to go ahead and style this one to say it should be a width of 12, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. It's a lot more smaller then, doesn't, you know, obstruct the view so much. The p tag here, I'm going to go ahead and say class name. Yes, anyone asking, this is Tailwind, 100% Tailwind. Text extra small. And I'm going to also say the text should be gray with 500. Oh, oops, grew. What is that? Gray 500. Boom, look at that. This is looking so sick, right? Now, the final one that we're going to do is have the class name for the button, okay? So what I'm actually going to say is I'm going to have and already right now, you see it's looking pretty good, right? We're going to have a class name. Now, first thing I'm going to do is say margin top of auto, and this will make sure that all of the containers are the correct height. And then I'm going to actually give this a button class. Now, the button class doesn't exist, right? But remember earlier, I showed you how to create your own custom utility class in Tailwind CSS. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Let's transition over. You see how smooth that is? I love doing that sometimes, just throwing that in. So we're going to create a new button class, and that's going to get applied all over the place. So I'm going to go to my globals.css, and then here I'll say dot button. So wait for it, dot button. And then at apply, to apply, you know, our Tailwind styles, because remember in a CSS class, you have to do that, right? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that Amazon button that we love, this one. And I'm even going to include that when you click it, you see that nice little effect, right? I'm actually going to have that nice clickable effect, right? Yes, Abid says this, does the clone include authentication? Yes, 100%. Next authentication is coming tomorrow. So it's going to be absolutely killer, dude. So I cannot wait for that. P-2 to give it a padding of 2. And then we're going to go ahead and say text should be extra small. Now, guys, smash the thumbs up button as this button gets built out, right? It's going to be incredible. When we hit the medium size screen, I want the text to get a little bit bigger and it should become text small. I want the background to be a gradient. Okay, so BG gradient to bottom. Okay, then I'm going to say go from a yellow. Okay, so go from a yellow of 200 to a yellow, right? To a yellow of 400. Okay, and then if I hit save, boom. Oh, look at that, guys. Clean, looking nice, right? And then I'm going to say, okay, we should have a border. By default, the border is like this, like, you know, little kind of gray color. You see that, right? So I'm going to give the border a bit more of a nicer color here. I'm going to say the border should be a yellow. So let's go ahead and say border is a yellow, and the border is a yellow 300. Nice. Save. Tesla Overflow, does it also include stripe? Yes. I'll give you a little demo of the app in just a sec as well. So we're going to say rounded SM. It's going to be a stripe checkout session. Rounded SM. And then we're going to say, okay. So if I do that now, you can see, look at this, looking beautiful, guys. But now I want the clickable hover functionalities. When I hover over it, I want to get that, right? Now, so I'm going to type in focus. First, I'm going to do focus outline none. And then what we do is we say focus ring 2, right? And this will give me a little ring, because if you notice when I click it, there's an actual little ring there. It might be hard to see it, but there is a little ring there that gets applied, right? The focus ring is going to have focus. It's going to say ring yellow, and this one is going to be 500, yellow 500. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to change the active, right? So when I click it, right, the active state is going to go from yellow is going to change to a 500. So a few things that we applied there, and all together when that gets combined, click, boom. Because look at the from color is changing from a yellow to a 500. Look at that. It just changes the from, which looks clean. Matthew, thank you so much. $5 donation. Appreciate you providing this information to the masses. Nothing better than people helping others to improve their skill set. Keep it coming. That's what I aim to do, dude. That's what the Papa Fam is all about, helping, giving back to the community, so that way we can start changing everyone's life, making it better, growing together as a family on the internet, right? So that's exactly what Papa Fam is about. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for tuning in, right? Water break time, quick water break, guys. So now you can see, just want to give you a quick heads up. Look at this, right? So everything is looking pretty clean, but it's just got a little bit of a sort of, you know, the sort of, it's max width right now. I need to get this to this, and I'm going to show you how to do it in literally so damn fast. It's going to make you get a bit nervous about ever writing CSS again normally. Okay, I'm also going to do a word wrap. There we go. It should make it easier, so that way you guys can see what's going on. So sorry, I wasn't showing the screen there, but I'm going to show you how to get from this, so what we have right here, this, to this, very damn quick. Okay, quick water break, guys. Remember, your homework is going to be, I caught the show screen error right there. Your homework is going to be to get this built for tomorrow. Okay, so remember, don't worry about how long it takes. The goal is to learn. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you complete it for tomorrow. The goal should be to get it done by day 5. Okay, that's going to be the main thing. All right, let's go, guys. So now what we're going to do is go back to the product feed. Okay, product feed. This is where the rest of the magic is going to happen for today. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say in the outer div, we're going to get rid of the H1, which says product here. I'm going to say class name, and then I'm going to say grid. Okay, and this is going to be grid, flow, row, dense. Now, I'm not going to explain what this one is too much, but I'll show you how it gets applied once grid, flow, row, dense works. But you can check out the Tailwind demo of that one. But right now, you can see once we've done grid, you can see that it goes ahead and actually pops in like a little bit more spacing in there is being applied, right? So it's looking pretty clean right now, but right now it's just a grid of a single column by default. That's how grid works, okay? Cesar says, you know, dude, I'm a Papa Platinum, but today is super cool. Of course I know you're Papa Platinum, Cesar. That's amazing stuff. Thank you, man. Revant, thank you so much for your donation. All thanks to you, I'm hooked to React now. Keep inspiring and enlightening people. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, dude, for that lovely donation. Thank you so much, man. So we've got that. Now I'm going to say, okay, when we hit the medium, so this is the interesting part with grid, right? You see how right now it's one column, okay? But when I hit a medium screen, I want it to split into grid, like 2 columns. So I say grid columns 2. Now, check this out. If I go into a medium, it goes into 2 columns. But after that, it doesn't split, okay? So you see how it goes from a small to a medium screen. And then everything after that is still 2 because we haven't said anything else, right? So that's how we're going to do 2 columns. And when we hit the larger screen, I want to go a step further. I want to say grid columns 3. Okay, so now check this out. Look, 2 columns should pop in on the middle breakpoint. 3 columns pops in at that point, and then it just keeps growing. Okay, so that's looking pretty clean, right? So smash the thumbs up if you're loving that right now. So let me go ahead and see, are we at the 900 yet or not? So we got the large right now with the looking pretty good. And then the final thing is extra large, right? So once we get to that massive sort of screen, I want to go into a grid columns 4. Okay, and this is looking pretty good. Tesla says, love you, dude. You're one of my best programs on YouTube. I appreciate you, man. Love you guys too. All right, let's go ahead and make it big. Now you can see, look, on the extra large 4 columns. So this is an absolutely incredible demo of how you can apply CSS grid in a responsive manner so it grows. All right, incredible, incredible stuff. Whoa, we just broke 900 likes. Let's go. It makes me so damn happy, man, when we keep on doing it. I wonder if we can break 1,000 by the time we deploy. But guys, just thank you. Remember, first link, sign up. Incredible energy. I can't believe it, right? Atul says he is not interacting, he is just practicing. I'm not sure what that means, but yeah, it's incredible stuff, guys. This is huge. Wow. Right, this is incredible, guys. Thank you so much, right? Now you can see here, right? This looks great on a mobile view, but on the bigger view, I want to push this into the banner and get this kind of, you know, stacked look. But on the mobile screen, I don't want to have it. But on the middle and above, I want to have this kind of, you know, it goes into the banner sort of look and feel. Right now, we don't have that. How do I get that to achieve in that manner, right? So firstly, I'm going to go into my medium screen. So I'm going to half and half. And then here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the div in product feed, go to the end of the class names, and I'm going to add something. I'm going to say after the medium screen, I'm going to apply a negative margin top of like negative 52. Okay. Hello from Belgium. What's up, Christy? Welcome, dude. And you can see now, look at that. On the smaller sort of medium screens and above, it will go ahead and apply so on the mobile, we don't obviously want it, but on the medium screens and above, of course we want it. It looks clean, right? Look at that, guys. This is looking goddamn beautiful right now. Okay. So look at that. Amazing, amazing stuff. Okay. And I don't know, man, I'm loving this build. Even I'm doing it a second time and I'm enjoying it so much. So MD minus, there we go. And then the final thing, I'm going to say MX auto, just to make sure that everything is centered correctly. Okay. So this looks great right now, right? We have everything stacked up like this. Okay. But what I want to do now is the final step to making this look crisp, right, is I'm going to split this up and show you a few little tricks so that you can take this, right? So it's just, rather than just everything in a 4 column, to something like this, where we have an advert, something which takes up a 2 column, and then you see so forth, right? And then it continues on. But you can see, I want to go ahead and introduce a little bit of variation to this. And even on the medium screens, you can notice how every single size element actually has a little bit of a different responsive look to it, right? So even, and then we go to a 2 screen. Let's go to the 2 screen, and then you can see, look, we've got a slightly different variant where this takes up the full width. I'm going to show you how you can do that. And it's honestly easier than you think. That's just a little bit of a lag right now, but it's working pretty damn good. Okay. So let's go ahead and show you out this right now. Okay. So first thing we're going to do, guys, I'm actually maybe going to zoom out a little bit so you can see what's happening here, but I'm actually going to split things up. Okay. But before I do that, I'm actually going to have the products here, and I'm going to have the advert. I want to have an advert. So I want to have an image, right? And this image is going to have a class name. So let's go ahead and say class name. Let's go ahead and pop this above. Actually, no, we'll pop it there. I'll say image, class name. And this one is going to have the, it's going to say after the medium, I want it to go ahead and become a column span full, right? So not this, column span full, right? It looks really, really nice. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this. And that's basically how after the medium screens, it always takes up a full width because it's saying column span full. Okay. And then what I'm going to say is I'm going to copy this link, so you guys can feel free to copy that when you get time. And now if we go to the bottom, because it's going to get added to the bottom, you can see, look, it's being applied to the bottom over here. Okay. So I want to go ahead and introduce this. And the way to do that is I'm going to split up the products. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to splice the products and start applying them in a different way. So I'm going to say products dot splice. And all this means is basically like, slice, right? So I'm going to cut the sort of product. So I'm only going to basically select, let's say 0 to 4. Okay. And then I basically map through it. So I can very easily integrate this into what I'm doing at the moment. Here I just say products and I just say dot slice, right? Slice 0 to 4. And this will go ahead and only show me the first 4 products. Okay. So now you can see that we've got the first 4 products and then the banner, right? So looking clean, right? So we've got the first 4 and then the banner. But I want to go a step further now. So after this image, I want to go ahead and say, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show some more products. So I'm going to have another div, right? And I'm going to show the following products from 4 to 5. Okay, so I'm just going to paste this out. It's the same snippet with the slices 4 to 5. And now you can see after that, I've got another image coming up. So this is showing one item, right? But notice how this one item right now, it doesn't take up much room. Okay, so the way I can make this take up more room, and for example, take up a 2 span here, is by doing the following. I can say div class name, right? Now let's go ahead and do this, right? So anyone who's giving negativity, guys, you know where to go. You can unsubscribe. It's all good, guys. Right, so we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead and say, one sec. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and say class name, and here I'll say mod, and then I'm going to say, MD, and I'm going to say let's go ahead and check this out. MD column, and then we're going to say span 2. Okay. Now it says after the medium breakpoint, span across 2. So this means on the small, span across 1, but after medium hits, span across 2. And you see how now it's spanning across 2, right? Looking very clean right now. Okay. So we're going to say MD span across 2, and then after the extra large, okay, we don't actually need to apply it. We can keep it as that. Nice. Looks very clean at this point. Okay. And then the final one I'm going to do is go ahead and show the rest of the products underneath. Okay. So underneath this div, I'm going to go ahead and just simply pop out the rest of the products. So 5 to products.length basically says show the rest of them out. Okay. So let's go ahead and check this one out. So look at that. Looks clean, right? And look at that. Look how lovely the support is from the Papa fam, right? I love that. We don't let any negativity in here, guys. We're going to keep this positive. But look at this, guys. We just gone ahead and created, I'm not sure what's happening there. That's actually just a little bit of a bug. There we go. So you can see here right now. Look at this beautiful layout right now. Okay. And you see this, how we've got that 2 span. We've got this. And also how when we change the 3 fit, looks so nice. And I want to show you that's actually the row dense coming in here, right? So by doing that grid column flow row dense, if I didn't have this, look what actually happens. It just goes ahead and finds this sort of space there. But by doing row dense, it basically says no, use up all the space, right? So densely populate that grid, right? So that's how you go ahead and do that. Now guys, I don't know if we've hit it already, but I think we're almost at 1,000 likes, right? And this is going to be the ultimate finish to today's build. So guys, right now, what we're going to do is go ahead and deploy this build. So this is your point where I want everyone to get to this point that we did today, okay? So your homework is going to be to build this page like we did it today, fully responsive, okay? Now you can add in any additional features you want. Remember last time when we did the Netflix assignment, everyone went above and beyond, kind of, went ahead and, added in all their nice little features. And that's what I want to see this time, okay? So Chris says, Tailwind OP for responsiveness. Hell yeah, dude. This was Tailwind for that responsiveness. It's absolutely killer in terms of making an app look and feel beautiful, okay? That doesn't happen on Chrome, or maybe just a rendering issue, but it looks perfect right now, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to push this code to our GitHub, okay? So I'll show you how we can do that right now, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, log into my GitHub. So I'm going to go ahead and say log into GitHub. Oops, not GitHub, 1S. Let's go into github.com. Okay, so what you want to do is simply go ahead. We're going to use Vercel to go ahead and push to our GitHub, okay? So what you want to do is go to your GitHub, and we're going to go ahead and click sign in. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go into my Chrome. So I'm going to go ahead and actually use Chrome right now. So hopefully computer doesn't burn on me and crash, right? But we're going to go ahead and open up Chrome, and I'm going to go ahead and say GitHub. Okay, so GitHub, and I'm going to go ahead and all you need to do is simply log into your GitHub. Let's go ahead and open this up. Nice. And once you've got your GitHub open, you want to go ahead and simply click on add new repository, right? Click on new repo, and then you want to go ahead and type in a repo name. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and type in Amazon, and let's just type in let's just type in YouTube. Okay. And I'm going to make it, in this case, I'll make it private. Okay. So it's up to you guys. I'm going to make this one private. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click create repo. Okay. So this is going to be incredibly simple you just need to follow these steps to deploy. Okay. So we are deploying the app right now. Okay, guys. So remember, if you go ahead and smash that thumbs up button, somebody said, what is the time for day 3? Same time, dude. Same time for day 3 as well. Okay. So right now we're going to go ahead and click get remote add origin. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing here. I'm going to say get remote add origin, and it says remote origin already exists. Oh, because I've already actually pushed it to this one. Actually, no, I haven't. Not yet. Sorry. So in case I get this one, so you won't get this issue. I've already done this because I've set something else. But if you have already got something else in play, you can do set URL. Okay, so mine isn't actually there, which is fine. We can do that. That's fine. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and say, let me find the command for it. I think it's git remote set URL, but I always forget the command. So I'm just going to quickly find that command. While I do that, guys, git remote, let me quickly find it, git remote set URL. So if anyone knows the command, feel free to shout out. Let me just go ahead and quickly find it for you guys. There we go. I found it. Nice. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and say git remote set URL. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in my repo like so. But you guys just need to do the add origin. It's just because I've already set it up. Okay. Once you've done that, you need to just do the following steps. Okay. Git add all. This will add all the files to your staging. So if you type in git status, you should see a green light with everything inside of it. Okay. Then what you want to do, guys, is type in git commit -m. Okay. And I'll make this super big for you. We're going to do git commit -m. Okay. And then here I'm going to have a message in quotes, and I'm going to say, let's just say app built. Okay. And I'm going to hit enter, and this will commit to GitHub. Okay. And then what I do is I type in git push. Okay. And this will go ahead and it will push to, let's go ahead and say, oops, I think I've actually pushed it to the start of GitHub. Ooh, I hope I have not done that. If I have done that, I will fix it. Oh, okay. I've actually pushed that to the actual original GitHub. But guys, all you need to go ahead and do is actually change it. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to revert. Oops. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to revert that one. That was not meant to happen. Whoops. All right. I'm going to go ahead and revert that right now. Otherwise, you guys are going to get what I've already done. Let's go ahead and do something. 1 second, guys. Okay. Give me 1 second. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly fix that for you all, and then I will go ahead and do it. But all you needed to do was go ahead. Somebody goes, revert, steal the code quick. Yeah, I'm going to quickly revert that one, and then we can do it. We can go ahead and find it. But guys, all you need to do is actually push that to GitHub, go to Vercel, and you'll be able to deploy it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. Somebody goes steal the code. God damn it. Let me go ahead and actually fix that one. Git log. I actually completely forgot that one. It's a silly mistake, that one. Okay. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and simply. Right. Completely forgot my own commands here. Okay, there we go. So I just need to simply go ahead and say, check out. No. Okay, I've actually forgot what the bloody thing was. How to... All right, so all you need to do is actually push it to your GitHub, go onto a Vercel, and then you can go ahead and connect it. Oh, that's it. Oh my God, damn it. Git reset. Damn it. There we go. Okay, done. Then I go ahead and say git push -- force. Oh, I'm sorry about that, guys. Oops. Haha, right. Let's go ahead and double check. We should have the old code back there. Aha, there we go. Right, I'm not sure who did it, but there you go, right? So I'm not sure if you guys did that or not, but there you go. That's how we do it, right? So what you need to do, guys, is like I said, right? So I'm going to show you again how we do that. Ignore what I said before, okay? So you need to go ahead and simply find your GitHub repo, do git remote add origin, pop it in here, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and say git add all, and then you're going to do git push and just push it to your branch. Okay. Once you've done that, all you need to do, guys, is go over to, let's go over to Vercel dashboard, like so. Go ahead and click on new project. And then what you'll see is that build come up. All right. So you're going to click on import, and then you want to simply go ahead, and we don't need to worry about the environment variables for now, but you can go ahead and simply do deploy. Okay. You're going to click on deploy, and then this will go ahead and do the way you need to do it. Okay. So this will go ahead and fetch it, deploy it. It will give you a URL, and all you need to do, guys, is go ahead and pop that URL into the homework submission. Okay, so the screen that you should be seeing for the homework submission is the link in the description. It is there right now. And what you need to go ahead and do is this is Next.js, so you can't actually do a Netlify deployment. You have to do a Vercel, because remember, you have to host a server somewhere. Okay. David says, thanks for the Emmet tip. I've been killing myself. You're welcome, dude. So the homework submission. Okay. So make sure you hit this page, deploy your website, follow all of these steps. Remember, sign up to the final day, guys. 980 likes. Can we break 1,000, guys, before we end this stream? Come on. I think we can do it. Let's go ahead and push it, right? What you need to do is go ahead, fill out your homework, and let's go ahead. You type in something like Sunny, your email address. Let's just say sunny@test.com, and then your deployed site link, right? So whatever your deployed site was, you're going to paste it in here. If you've completed it fully, I want you to tick fully complete. If it was partially and you got a bit stuck, then you can go ahead and do partially complete. Once you've done that, screenshot it and put it in the Facebook chat. Okay, so that way I can see on both sides. We can check the homework submissions and the Facebook chat, so we can maximize your points. If anyone gets stuck, make sure you reach out on the Facebook group, okay, and help each other out. That's what the community is about, okay? Make sure you do it. And like I said, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's build. We absolutely crushed it today. And what you should see once it's deployed is, congratulations, your project has been successfully deployed. Right now, obviously, I've just deployed this one because I didn't push it, but you're going to actually see the final build. And what you should be seeing, guys, is your application, your final amazing build application, which should look something like, let's go ahead and show you the actual build. You should be seeing this on your screen, right? So you should have your final build up and running, looking beautiful, looking amazing and slick. And this is where I need you to get to for tomorrow's build. So that way we can actually have the authentication and checkout process being built, okay? So in tomorrow's build, we're going to introduce the sign up functionality and the checkout and basket functionality, okay? So you're gonna have Next.js authentication, and then we're also gonna have the basket page. And then in the day after that, we're gonna implement Stripe checkout functionality. Now, a final run through of the entire build. Before I say it, guys, the homework for today is just this page. Okay, so fully responsive Tailwind, this page. It should be fully responsive. I'm going to test them out and then highlight the best ones. I think we're going to break 1,000 likes. Let's keep going, right? But I'm going to show you a run through of what you will achieve at the end of this 5-day challenge. Okay, so a quick run through. You can add stuff to your basket like so, right? We can remove a bunch of stuff. So let's just take away a bunch of different items from the basket. Let's just go ahead and remove a bunch of this stuff. So let's say buy 2 things, proceed to checkout. And I think we broke it, 1,000 likes. That's what I'm talking about. Energy is up there, guys. That's crazy stuff, right? Once we've got to this point, you need to go ahead and fill in the details. So here I'll type in, like, you can just do anything ABC at abc.com. It's a test address. Now I'm going to fill out the rest of the details. And I'll quickly do that in a sec. So let me go ahead and say ABC Lane. Let's just go ahead and pop in any address. There we go. I just don't want any sensitive information to pop up. Okay, and then when you come to the card detail screen, you're going to go ahead and do 424242. And then, guys, we're going to be able to pay. It will process the payments. Okay, so guys, you absolutely killed it today while this is loading. I want to tell you guys, honestly, I'm so goddamn proud of the energy that everyone has brought today. And I'm just giving you a quick demo of what you're going to have at the end of these 5 days. All right, so it's going to confirm your order. You're going to click go to your orders, and then boom, it's there. Right, if you stick with me through these 5 days, we're going to have everything, right? So a Pineapple Core says, what about organizing these 5-day challenges, homeworks, etc.? So make sure you're part of the Facebook group, okay? Matthew, thank you again for another beautiful donation. And guys, remember, join that Facebook group, like we said before. It's crucial you're a part of it, because it is going to be, it's going to be where you can ask for help, where you can help each other out, and it's going to be extremely important, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys which Facebook group you should be concerned with. So it's actually this one right here, okay? The link is in the description. You'll be able to see it. Once you join this group, you just have to answer a few questions, and then that's where you can pretty much go ahead and ask for help and then get support. We also have the Papa Fam Discord server, and there's amazing point, okay? Guys, this was incredible stuff, right? I think, and I hope you enjoyed it, because I think everyone really did crush it. And like I said, guys, sign up to day 5. First link in the description. I want to see every single person there on that day. It's going to be a massive event. But until then, guys, good luck on your homework. Ask for help if you need it. There is no shame. This is what the Papa Fam is about. We ask for help when we get stuck. We don't hide away. We grow together. We push. We become better together. And we become the best versions of ourselves and the solid best developers together. Okay? First link in the description. Sign up for final day. And I will see you guys tomorrow, same time. And yeah, guys, this was awesome. It's your boy Papa React. And I will see you guys in day 3 of the Amazon challenge. Same time, same place tomorrow. Smash the thumbs up button. Peace, guys. That was awesome. That was awesome.